Hi guys, hey, hey, hey. Johnny, I'm 2 minutes early. See it there. I was betting she's about 10 minutes late. We're just getting set up. I was just finishing rolling my cig actually. Just make sure that's off. Just make sure that's off. Uh, yeah, so I saw him say, was he asking, did you want to Paul? Did you want to Paul, John? See you later, happy. I thought, just roll me singing, then I click on, and when I spotted that, I thought, no, I'm going to fuck them all up now and come on early. So I'm not starting yet. I'm not saying, I'm going to sit here for another minute until it's actually, till it's actually 8 o'clock. Are we all good? Are we all alright? How are we all doing? I've got, let's have a look who we've got, because I'm trying again with the chart up here. Because last time it kept crashing my bloody finger into it, so... Because on this one, what I have here, I keep missing people. So we've got Johnny, we've got P, we've got Fletch, got Slinks, Sugar Tits. We've got Eloise. Hey, Twinner. Hello, Peter. See, because I don't like flicking through this fast because sometimes I miss names and I don't want to miss anybody. Hello, John Green. Hello, Peanut. Got Colette. We've got Sassy. Got Amethyst. Hey, Amethyst. We all okay? We okay today? Bye, Zuzu. Kisses all round. David's in the house. Hi, David. I hope you feel. Hello, Chevish. I hope you're feeling better, Zuzu. And I won't say hello to her, AJ. AJ left. I've not seen her for. Well, I'm assuming it's a lady. Not seen her for a while. And she left a love heart under one of my fingers. So, hi, AJ, if you're watching, love. But I know. When I see your thing, I thought, oh, I've not seen her for a while. I hope she's okay. So I hope you're okay, sweet. Anyway. Should we see what? Hey, Keela. Should we just? Where's that bee anyway? Is that bee here? You're getting better every day, love. That's good, Susie. On, onwards and upwards. It's when you it's when you start getting all Colette's on, and lastly, hey, Andy. Colette knows I love her. It's when you start going, Daniel, you won't be panicking, but if you're on the mend, that's I'm getting thumbs down. I'm not even started. I might not even be talking about anything yet. You don't even know what I'm talking about yet. I know it says part 2, but hi Bruce. I know it says part 2, but it might be clickbait. It might just be pure clickbait, and I'm not talking about nothing. Yeah, they're coming in, giving the thumbs. They're just pathetic, aren't they? Pathetic, Scott. You know, I'll tell you what he's done. Do you know if you go in your YouTube studio? No, I'm only joking. It's not clickbait. Clickbait. Oh, looking at that. I read it. Yeah. Hi, Steph. Stephanie. In your YouTube studio on your videos, it can tell you if you've gained any subs or lost any subs. So on my last Valis Man on the internet, I've gained 8 subs on that because it tells you. Then when I clicked on Monday, I'd lost 10 subs. So when I'd looked, I'd not lost any subs on any videos. It's him, and it ended up 17 after all, and 17 of his alts just clicking on and going unsub, 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 because they've not actually clicked on a video to unsub. They've just gone to my channel and unsubbed. And he thinks I'm fake, and I know it's all his alts. But go like that in one day. Scott, you're a wanker. He just keeps doing it all the time. Adding 10, then deleting 10. All at once. It goes up, down, up, down, up. But he thinks it bothers me. But you're wrong, Scott. You're wrong. Oh. Because he thinks they are real subs, but they're not. They're all him. They're all him. Either there you are, bland. I'm inspired by you, love. I'm inspired. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at that for a bee. Like, you like it? Be happy. And I got all yellow for you. This, if Rachel watches back, but this is, the material on this is dead. It's real. I don't know if it washes because I've just taken out the packet, put it straight on. It's really, really dead proper soft material. And I think this was about £4 off Shein. But it is really, it's like, it feels really nice on your skin. So there you go, B. I looked at that and I thought, I have to get that. I have to get that. Yeah. No, Fletch, Shein, this one. Outstanding, innit, Sessa? Outstanding. Yeah. We're all yellow. We're all mellow yellow. Well, we're not mellow yellow because I don't smoke wacky backer, so. Do you see what is it? It's fabulous. Fabulous amethyst, isn't it? I really like it. I do really like it. It's like an holiday top, proper, really bright. I felt like I need a bit of bright in my life, a bit of it like cheese you up, doesn't it? Bright colour. Look at them on stuff. My husband thinks I'm mental. He said, "What doing?" I said, "I'm going streaming." He just looked at me. He just looked at me, looked at them, and he just started laughing. He went, "Oh, for God's sake!" Hi, honey, if you're watching. It does normally switch on every now and again in there. I am. I love. Right. Well, oh, I've got something for you first. You know when Alan was saying he Rogan Productions got in touch with him and he told him he didn't want to be on it, but it'd help out, you know, in the background type of thing. And he said he was having conversations backwards and forwards and things like that. And he was the one that mentioned Scott to him. I can't show you because I don't do things like that. Anything that anybody sends me is confidential. But I know I can speak about it. I'm allowed to do that. I've had actual proof that it did. So when Scott's saying, "Oh, look at Alan, he's lying," Alan's not lying, Scott. Alan's not lying at all. He had Rogan Productions did get in touch with him, and he did have telephone conversations backwards and forwards with him, and he did. He was the one that mentioned you to him. What an ass you are. So go, Alan. So everybody, Alan weren't like. Well, I knew anyway. Alan weren't lying because I thought, why would he lie about something like that? It's not. He don't gain night. He don't lose night. He just said they did contact me. I didn't want to be actually on the thingy, but I said I'd help them. And you know, I think Alan was the one that was pointing different channels out to him. You know, what's like Grizzly and things like that. I think he was the one that was saying, well, Grizzly's the proper true crime channel, and this is. So they obviously got in touch with him, and he said, and this dickhead here, this wanker, is an absolute mess on the internet. So that's why they did what they did to Scott, because that's what they was doing. Even though he bangs on, well, they clipped it and they put that there for make me look bad. They did it that way, Scott, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make you look bad because you look bad. You look awful, actually. Not even bad. You look awful. Awful. We'll just start up. I'll not go back to his why is that not moving up? Hi Trish. Hi sweetheart. Yeah, he did Claire Allen crossed him off. I know that was a little cherry on top. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sick enough. I will call out what's good, where I think there's good and bad. There's good and bad in everybody, isn't there? Alan's bad for what he did to Ree's ex. But he's not all bad. He's not a pedo. He's not a nonce. He's not half at stuff what probably Scott's made out about him. But people was obviously detracting Alan before Scott come along because of the Ree's ex. But Scott's going down the same avenue now, you know. He's this Nicola Bully case is Scott's. Is Alan's like what's into it? Because he's not done nothing on Superchuffer channel for ages apart from one stream with Steve. We like Steve. Hi Steve. I mean, you're not watching Steve, but hi Steve. I like Steve. He's a very nice gentleman. Yeah, I watch him sometimes. On that being said, I genuinely like Steve. And now all of a sudden this documentary's come out. Is IBC is back on Superchuffer banging on again. And so should we see? I've got a clip. I'll just it's Val. Well, it is. Let me flip my cameras. Yes.
They kept me to make me look bad. I could take those pieces from that documentary where the parents are saying we thought she'd been abducted, this and this, and like pair them up with other YouTubers and TikTokers saying similar things and evidence to support the idea that it could have been the case. And then I could make a really good video, can't I? And it would include the parents and they'd be the ones pushing that agenda. I think the more I watch this,
that look on his face is a look of disgust, as if to say, because we all know he doesn't like to be belittled and made look stupid. He goes on the attack, and we know that's his MO. If he thinks anybody's getting at him, he'll go on the attack, and his face then.
I think the more I watch this, the more that's clear is that Ernie Bully was worried she'd been abducted.
And he's still pushing that.
They kept me to make me look bad. I could take those pieces from that documentary where the parents are saying we thought she'd been abducted.
Watch his face when he keeps looking into the camera.
This and this, and like pair them up with other YouTubers and TikTokers saying similar things.
I know I was reading comments at top of their article. She's wrote here. They also clipped her in his response after what Scott said. Yeah, Dolly, they did, because that's what they wanted to do, because they wanted to show what on earth Scott was. That's why they clipped that bit of Scott and put it before Ernie. So Ernie could, in some sort of way, direct it at Scott without actually directed at him. Scott's the big I am of the media production and all that lot. Can you not see it? Can you not see what that production company did? They was making points all the way through it. And the point was, Ernie and Dot find Scott vile. That was my opinion. Coming up with crap again like this. That's what Dot and Ernie was saying. People coming up with crap, i.e., him coming up with crap.
Things and evidence to support the idea that it could have been the case. And then I could make a really good video, can't I? And it would include the parents, and they'd be
it would include the parents.
Ones pushing that agenda.
And then discuss with a leak away.
I think the more I watch this, the more that's clear is that Ernie Bully was worried she'd been abducted.
I think the more I watch him, the more he's getting disturbed. Do you agree with that, Terrace? Yeah. Like I said, everybody's you're allowed. I know you're agreeing with me, but if anybody else has got different opinions on how they interpreted the documentary, but honestly, by all means, you can share them. There's no one. Hey, Marcus, there's no one one view of anything. Everybody's got a view and an opinion. Just so long as you're nice to each other in chat, that's all we're bothered about. And if you're not, Slinky gets a ban, am I right? Slinky gets a ban, am I right, when I'm not even streaming. I'm just off. Because Slinky and Jess are managing moderators so they can come and please yourself while they do on here. Slinky, I'll not be a minute, I'm just off. Don't you say? Yeah. And I have no say in it whatsoever. She does her own thing. She gets a little hammer, right? Ban. Because the simple reason I don't read all chat, I can't. Why I'm talking and I'm leaking and I'm thinking, I can't. I'd love to read everything what everybody writes, but so obviously the mods can actually see proper what's going on in chat, can't they? So deal with it. Just deal with it, will you? Yeah. Yeah, it's seriously not right. And is there anyone who doesn't have a nasty thought about? Because that, like I said, that's his MO, isn't it? If he thinks anybody's dissing him or going after him or having a little bad word about him, like me, he will go on the attack. He doesn't go on like a defence. He just starts attacking because he's trying to make out now that he didn't look so bad on that documentary, and everybody else, I don't know, everybody else thinks he looks awful, apart from people in his chat. But it's only what he's because they're watching. It's what he's feeding them. So that was that. I'll be back over now. I'll be back on that one. Right, we'll go. I don't know what I'm doing then. Oh, he's on. He's on. Oh, it's a premiere. Taylor, it's done 6 days ago. Today, he can't wait to get on the.
Question that I didn't, but
This is where we was up to.
I've heard all sorts of ideas being forwarded. Yeah, that's that word again, conspiracy.
And then that wasn't Nikki who left my house that morning.
Today, new images have been given to the BBC showing
this one where people said she doesn't have a nose. Yeah, these images.
Nicola packing her car on the morning she disappeared.
And do you remember whether that was a tennis ball or not? Whether it was a
I'm
tennis
joking,
ball.
I don't do that.
Someone was really interested to see if that was a tennis ball there. Turns out it wasn't.
Yeah, you
release something to try and squash something.
Grifting for money. That's all he's doing, and that's why he's still sticking to his. Because should we say conspiracy theory about Erna, and why can't he just leave that family alone now? Why? Because he's thinking, I got my big views because of Nicola, and I'll start getting my views back. But what he should do now is just leave them alone. Hey Louise, yeah, he is a total grifter, love.
So wait, you released something to try and squash something. Hang on, this is important.
Crazy things that were being said. Conspiracies about me having an affair with one of Nikki's friends. And then that wasn't Nikki who left my house that morning.
Today, new images have been given
So
to the BBC.
that wasn't Nikki who left my house this morning. How do you mean? In what? in the images, but we haven't seen the images, have we yet? Or the CCTV that we haven't seen because you haven't released it yet? Or are you talking about once you've released it, the crazy conspiracy theories start coming out? Because in the chronological order of what's being said here is, you said that there were conspiracies about whether she left the house that morning, and then they released the pictures. So I don't know if they're releasing this information to us in the documentary in the right order. So I think they mean they released the pictures, and then people suggested it wasn't Nikki in the pictures, don't you think? And so you're saying,
yeah, because what Paul's saying is, people will say, well, why is there no CCTV? So I thought, squash that theory if there's no CCTV. So I said, it wouldn't be Marklet. I've just got that economy. I like that one. Yeah, so what Paul's saying is, so they released this, and then it got, your new friend got you right, didn't it? What's that, Ernan? Your new friend. Have you found your mate with finger yet, Ernan? Huh? She's still missing a finger. That did the dog bite that lady's finger off? Ernan's in the ice. Your new friend got you. I don't know what even that means. I don't even. Oh, was that a name, Sally Ann? We have to have this. Sorry about this, but when I see Herman, I need to have this conversation with him about this lady that's he's still looking for this lady that's lost a finger or something. I don't know, but it tickles me because he comes in everybody's charts. Oh, and a sheep and a dead sheep. Yeah, he comes in everybody's chart where I've been, and he's always on about this lady's finger and a dead sheep. And I don't know why, it just tickles me. You tickle me, Ernan. You tickle me. Yeah, so what Paul's saying is, because people were saying, well, why is there no CCTV ever? Hey, Reese. So he's released this, for squash that theory Paul's saying, but then people were saying, oh, well, that's not Nicola. That's what...
Whack-a-mole as well. Are you releasing these pictures to prove that you're not having a relationship with Emma? Because you said you were on the internet and finding out all these weird conspiracy theories, probably on social media, which you said you weren't using because you'd backed off it because you didn't want to be part of it. And then to squash those conspiracy theories about you having a relationship with Emma or something, or her not leaving the house that morning.
See, what all he's trying to do is he's trying to nitpick and basically point out, you can keep trying to say the Paul's a liar. I looked at that documentary and I thought, it did explain a lot of things, why a lot of things were done in the way they was. And it's not up for grabs, this, Scott, for, oh, I'll pick all the way through this now on what he's saying. Leave him alone. That family's been through enough.
You release these images. So again, like Paul Ansell compelled to go down to the river to essentially whack-a-mole. You know, I'm using colloquial language, of course, but you know, to whack-a-mole. Like Paul Ansell going down to the river to squash those stories by the mainstream media. Actually caused more problems. But here, again, we're using these images to squash the...
See, because what people were doing, i.e. people like him, they were happy with, oh, well, yeah, oh, yeah, we've got footage now, Nicola. That weren't getting views. What was getting in views was, oh, let's see if we can pick this to pieces and say it's not Nicola and say it looks more like Emma.
Stories. We're not using these images to help try and find Nicola. She's still missing at this point. We're not using these images to give people a good impression of what Nicola was wearing, or to help try and find her. These are to squash the stories that Paul might be in some way complicit, or something might be going on behind the scenes that we didn't. So that again raises another red flag or an alarm bell when the images are then doctored when they go on Cheesy True Crime, and they're proving that they've been edited and doctored in this documentary.
Yeah, but that weren't down to him. That was Jizzy doing it and putting her watermark on it. So that's why obviously the more you mess about with a video or anything, obviously the worse it looks. Because it's not the original. So if somebody's messed about with it, putting watermarks on, things like, and splitting it up for images like this, it's not going to look. It's not going to look true to life. It's not going to look like the actual video itself, is it? Because it has been mauled about with. But it was only mauled about with in the sense to blur the kids out and cut the kids out and the numbers on the bins and things like that.
By showing us a different kind of image. So either both images, when I say image, I mean the CCTV, either both copies of the CCTV have been doctored in different ways, or like one is and one isn't, but like ultimately they can't both be right, can they? Because they're both different. So
Showing Nicola packing her car on the morning.
Exactly, John. Exactly. The police report Paul out, but Scott can't agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, and Louise, he is just talking out his ass, isn't he? Because he's still here now on this. Try to make it into something it's not. For views. On a tragedy. The family won't be left alone, and it's people like him now that won't leave him alone. Oh, I can see that, Fletch. Look, it's a little fox. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Because normally on here on there it says Shiba dog raises and lowers his index finger to get noticed. Oh, so it's a Shiba dog that doing that. He's a lazy bastard, Cherry. She is, isn't he? Cheese face. Can your mate Mike Oxbig get a shout out, please? Hi, Mike. Mike Oxbig. Hello. Hi. There you go. And hello, Cheeseface. Yeah, I don't mind doing shout outs. I don't mind doing much. Oh, that Chelsea's in here. Yeah. You say. I don't know what's going on in there now. I don't know how much I'm just nosing at chat now.
and I think it vindicates everything I was saying. I think that the CCTV is so full of errors because it has been edited and re-edited, and I think the original would have been prudent to put out the original in its full entirety, even with children in it, maybe, and just put those black things over, the black bar over it, the black squashy thing, or the crystal, when they pixelate it out. Just pixelate out the things you want to block out, but leave the majority of it, because we're trying to find a missing person, so any information is good information, and it's not putting anyone at risk or any harm. It's just video of someone getting in a car. So I think they should have just done that, and I still to this day do not understand why, unless in order to whack that mole, that entire video would have made things more difficult for you in some way, or you needed more time to process things.
She disappeared.
But then you release something to try and squash something, and all it does is then spirals into something else.
On the clothing that Nicola was last seen wearing.
Looking at these.
And I think if you're releasing something to squash something, but it spirals into something else, that sounds like what would happen if you were.
Chelsea, I know you can see it. It's there on the screen. Like you can see me removing them because it comes up on screen there. I'm not hiding it. I'm not trying to hide it. Like remove. It's not. It's there above my head. So I don't hide things. I don't have to. If I want to remove something, I'll just remove it. Oh, hey, the fork. Can I see that there? That's my big arrow and everything there. How can I hide that, dick? You ain't banned, Chelsea. You just get him, Chelsea, because you're not Chelsea. You was in Trisha's last night. Now you've gone. Bye. Bye, Chelsea. Yeah, all right, Chelsea. I did it quietly while people. If the chat's there, it's hardly doing it quietly when there's a big hand, like a big hand. If I wanted to do it quietly, I'd have done it on this screen here where you can't see. Dickhead. Not bad. But I didn't. I did it here for everybody to see what I was doing. Jog on, tit. that's what I think. Now, Chelsea that was in Trish's last night, they're in here again, and they said I was trying to hide what I was doing when I was actually doing it up there where everybody could see what I was doing. If I wanted to hide what I was doing, I'd do it in this chat here where nobody can see. But just so everybody can see, I was doing it here. Hey, Deke. Yeah, someone impersonating that detective. What's doing the Sarah Boone thingy into. Yeah, there was in Trish's chat last night doing pretty much the same, so. Hello, Joe boy. How you doing, Honor? Not seen you for a while.
Lying or something like that, getting caught in problems, because it shouldn't spiral into something else. It should clear things up. So he's like saying, we're doing this to clear things up, right? And then they don't clear things up, they make it worse. And I can understand that, because to me, it made things worse. Yeah. I don't know why you did that, to be honest. I still don't understand why you did that. Because you had the opportunity to just do it. And when things are worrisome like that, it's best just to be really honest about it, and then it just is honesty, and then you're just like honest, isn't it? I don't know if the questions lay at the door of Giselda, but she's in this documentary. They don't question her about it, so that's weird. Because now we're talking about it, and here it is on the screen. That's her channel, Jizzy True Crime. There, that's where this woman's watching the CCTV.
See, I don't think Rogan Productions have been in touch with them, and this is. Is it K and I care? I can't see K. See, I'm doing it up top here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, there. I can see K now. Hi, K. I can see you now, love. I think it was because obviously he looks like the bad guy on the internet. They didn't want him. Yeah, I know you're not. I know you don't, Joe. I know you don't, sweet. But you're welcome in here anytime you want, love. Not a problem, and I know you don't come in for 8 on Scott. I know you just come for a nosy. You come for a nosy and a chat, but it's all good, honey. Like I say, anybody's welcome coming here. Even them anybody that watches Scott, I don't mind. Just so long as they don't start abusing people in chat, that's all. But you're welcome to stay and watch. Just my thoughts, just what I'm thinking. Really, it's not necessarily what everybody thinks in here. They all have their own opinions. But I think he were pissed off because they didn't ask him and they just used that clip. And you're right, Stephanie, and the documentary made him look awful. And if it was me, I wouldn't even touch this documentary with a barge pole after looking so bad. Yeah. You just enjoy me laughing, don't you? Just like me laughing. So I think that's what he's pissed off at. Not being asked. But like I said, they didn't want to ask him because they wanted to make him out to what he is, a complete arse.
Like, this woman's not like, it's weird, isn't it? Because like Jizzy's in the documentary and she's in it, and they could ask her, and this woman's been watching Jizzy and talking about it on TikTok. So
CCTV and then listening to the police description of Nicola.
They are an ankle-length black quilted gilet jacket.
If you look at the CCTV, it is not ankle length and it doesn't look black to me. The person that was wearing the long black jacket was Emma White.
that's quite right, isn't it? And I don't know if she came up with that herself or if she found that out off the internet, because multiple people ended up sharing that piece of information around a bit, didn't they? No one needs to lay claim to anything. It's just good that we can get this thing sorted. I certainly wasn't the first person to say that, but I agree with that, you know. I don't know what I mean is, I don't know whether they're trying to say this is an armchair detective who is finding things out, and like, you know, these online sleuths they're talking about. You know, I don't know whether they're trying to paint her as that, or whether she's just a lady at home watching those sort of things on the internet. As she just was watching Jizzy True Crime, they just showed her watching it, and
Isn't that just what he did? Sat at home, watching what was going on, and then hi Rach, watching what was going on, and then jumped on the stream and started talking about it, like everybody did.
just sort of saying what she thinks, because I don't know exactly if who she's supposed to represent. And I'm not an armchair detective. I'm just a normal person like you.
You're not a normal person on YouTube, Scott. You're vile. What you've done and doing now. is Alan with the Watts case.
I'm more like her than I am some, you know, jizzy true crime channel.
Hi, Jess.
But I don't know, like, exactly what the point is they're making here, because, like, she makes quite a good point, isn't it? That there are inconsistencies. So the whack-a-mole didn't work.
He doesn't know what point she's making, but she's making a good point. Make that make sense. Keely. That's what Keely says. Make it make sense. I don't know what point she's making, but she's making a good point. Does it make sense, that, Keely? Make it make sense, Keely.
People were saying, why would Paul give Emma White's description and not...
But not the same.
Rich, don't worry, be happy. Sheen, lovely soft material, this one, love. About £4. Lovely, soft, proper soft material. Yeah, Louise, it is, isn't it? You agree? It's the Watts grift again. Like I said, that's the only thing I'd because I didn't know nothing about Alan and what he'd done to Rezex and things like that. It's only what I've, over the 12 months of watching Scott doing Nicola Bully, and then obviously going and having digs at Alan and things like that. That's the only reason I knew anything about that. I don't know all ins and outs of it. I don't know what's gone on. I didn't mean it, what's gone on. Didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean, though, didn't you? But the more I heard people talking about it, the more I thought, well, if the family's asked Alan to stop doing it, why has he not stopped? And then people were saying it's because it's a grift. It were grifting and making money out of it. So I do genuinely think that's wrong. But Scott's doing the exact same thing now. Oh, God. I've just got some tit texting me. You know who you are. Yeah, but if he did cherish him too. He was. I remember. I think I watched him twice on the Nicola Bully, and he got some evidence or something. It was, and I thought, oh, I'll have a look at that. In the early days in the Nicola Bully, like, and he was sat back in his chair in his attic. People was asking him, "What's this thing you've got?" What? And his attic, "It's my stream. It's my show. I'll do it when I want." And I thought, oh, he seems a bit abrupt and a bit. I didn't like that. So I did. So I did. I think I watched him twice, and then that's when I was searching the internet for somebody else that was thinking, and obviously that's when I come across this dick. Which I'm glad, really, because I want to meet you a lot.
Same inconsistencies as I would raise, because there are a lot more inconsistencies, and it doesn't lead to the questioning of Jizzy, which is strange because she's in the documentary.
Nicola's description. They were just different things that didn't add up at the time, made people question, including myself.
Not just at the time, they still are open questions.
Get worried that being part of that increases the conspiracy theories.
Do you get worried that a big part of that increases the conspiracy theories? Okay, that's the question that we're now going to answer. Do you get worried that a big part of that increases the conspiracy theories?
Yeah, but the conspiracy theory he went down was Erna. How does the man boggles how he got to blaming her dad. I can't grasp that at all. That family's going through so much stress, distraught, hurt, not knowing, and then when they do find out what's happened, and then they have the inquest and all that lot, then he turns it all around onto Erna. I don't get it. I don't get where he's coming from with that.
I'm going to let her answer, and then I'm going to give you an alternative answer.
This is why it's called the vilest man on the internet. Because for somebody to accuse a lady that's died in a tragic accident like that, and then he tries to accuse her own father, I think it is vile.
How does that sound? I've got a window here where I was doing some notes earlier. There, okay. That's her answer. Do you think that and she's similar.
It's blaming Paul tonight in tonight's premiere. Has he gone back to blaming Paul? It's disgusting. He is. That's what he's doing. He's dragging it out as much as possible instead of leaving this family alone. Nah. He's been on YouTube about 10 years, but it's only since Nicola BULLEY that his channel, well, his Superchuffer and his battery exhausted. His ASMR had about 13,000 subscribers, but he got pushed out of that community because he was trying to take over like he does, thinking he's the big I am. And then he was doing. It was only like getting 70, 80 views. If you go back on his channels, on his battery exhausted especially, if you go back, he weren't getting a lot of views. He weren't really doing any proper content. He weren't really doing. You're being bullied in chat. Who's bullying you, Joe? I don't think you get bullied. He's being bullied. Yeah, he was only getting like 70, 80 views, and then obviously Nicola BULLEY, and it just boom, because everybody wanted more, and that's how. So it's only in the last 2 years of his actual 10 years he's been on YouTube. So for 8 years, he couldn't get anywhere. He couldn't build a channel. So he just goes for sure, doesn't it? That's why he's keeping hold of this as long as he possibly can.
To me, just talking about this thing on the internet, watching it and reacting to it. So do you think that this increases the conspiracy theories?
No, it doesn't worry me, because at the end of the day, in the great scheme of what's going on out there, 1,000 people in my life is a lot to me, but...
Scott, but this lady weren't vile to the family, blaming Erna. That's the thing. She was probably... She's a TikToker, I think, with 380-some-thousand followers. She's got a lot of followers, I know that. But I bet she didn't put it about, like, oh, Paul's done a murder and Two's having it off and this and that. I bet hers were more like, well, I wonder if there is a possibility that there could be something between Paul and Emma, and doing it like, not in a nice way, but obviously looking at the big picture, where Scott didn't.
Going on, but they're watching.
So before we get about reality, her answer to does this increase the conspiracy theories is no, because 1,000 people might seem a lot to me, but in the big scheme of things, it's not a lot, which is very similar to what Eddie said when we talked to Eddie, isn't it? That we're just grains of sand on the beach, and there might be a lot of people, you might think it's a lot of people in your little life, but it's not.
What's this got to do with Eddie now?
Really, is it? It's not a lot of people. So do I think it contributes to conspiracy theories? No, because there's not a lot of people, and that's not an answer, in my opinion. That's a bad answer, because it either does or does not, either that small amount of people are infected by your...
See? And Mr. Superior there. I wouldn't have said that. That's a bad answer. It's what that lady wants to. You can't, everybody can't think like it. Well, I hope nobody thinks like him, because he's fucking awful.
Conspiracy theories, or they're not. Like, it's not because there's not many, doesn't make it a problem. Well, we're not very big, are we? So, yeah, but does it contribute to conspiracy theories? Well, we're not.
Oh, look who's at top there. Ernan. He's in that chat. Should I ask about the lady with the missing finger? He's there. Look at him. Told you he gets everywhere, that. He gets everywhere, that Ernan.
To people. I would argue that that's not even the answer I would give for a different reason as well, though. And my answer would be, is that I'm not contributing to conspiracy theories because I'm not doing conspiracy theories.
Well, you are? Fucking hell. The biggest one.
What I'm trying to do is to substantiate legitimate lines of inquiry. So I'm not going to, keep her on the screen here. Maybe I should put me back on the screen for a second. What I'm trying to do is
Why does he have to put himself back on the screen?
Exactly in this video. But in fairness, in that video, I'm looking at legitimate lines of inquiry, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking at. In the same way as a police would. I'm not a police, am I? So I'm not going to be able to do the same.
You're not the police. So you don't know how to look at lines of inquiry. You don't know how to do that job. Yeah, they earn an account, so he's obsessed, isn't he, with this lady's missing finger. No, we've got this earning keeps going round into everybody's chat, Joe Boy, and keeps asking about this Sally Ann with the missing finger. The earner's missing a finger himself, it's up his ass, yeah.
Work as a police. But what the police would be doing is looking to rule things out, looking for inconsistencies in stories, looking for evidence.
Yeah, and the police reeled out Paul, but it didn't stop you having a go, did it?
That's what I was doing. I wouldn't take hearsay. I wouldn't have someone said this or that, or they had a psychic revelation or something like that. You know.
No, you wouldn't take hearsay and this or that. What you did do, Scott, was you projected your own views and drummed it into people. That's this is what's happened, Erna.
I'm not taking that. I'm taking hard, cold evidence, and I'm looking to substantiate.
He's the big I am. Honestly, he's exhausting, innit? He's exhausting.
Yeah, legitimate lines of inquiry. I want to get the word substantiate on. Substantiate. It's funny because it makes me think of Substack.
Look at him looking for his big words. Oh, fuck off, Scott. So what? You know big words and I don't.
Substantiate.
This is what makes you look more of an arse, because you can't. Normal everyday people like me don't understand the word you're saying.
Word substantiate came into my mind, and it made me think of Substack. And like, anyway, substantiate. Provide evidence to support or prove the truth of.
No, it don't matter, Joe Boy. If you're not a fan of Eddie, there's people in here that's not a fan of Eddie. I like Eddie, but if people don't have that same opinion as me, it's fine. It's fine. We can't like everybody. We can't. It's impossible to like everybody.
Provide evidence to support or prove the truth of. Substantiate. So I don't think that the work I was doing on YouTube, to this day, the work I have done on YouTube, helps to contribute to conspiracy theory, because I hate conspiracy theory. I don't.
He hates. Oh my God, what an ass! He hates conspiracy theories. My head wants to explode with it. What is he trying to do?
Find a good conspiracy theory for a good discussion and this and that, but ultimately, if you can't substantiate it, I will rule it out. And I know there's a lot of people a little bit eggy about this in some ways, because like we talked about things like, I don't know, the paranormal or the tarot or stuff like that. And whilst I entertain people's ideas and accept and respect their beliefs, I do not follow it.
Yes, the word check to see if he's just said it right, yeah. He did. He had word check that substantiated into. Because he keeps coming out with big words that he's heard of, but he probably doesn't even know what meaning to himself.
Unless I can substantiate it. So I'm looking for actual legitimate. This is my quote that they did. So if they'd asked me and they put me in as a little clip, yeah, mate, way. But if they'd actually wanted me to say,
hey, we'll put you in a clip to show what a fucking ass you are.
Something intelligent for their documentary, they could have asked me that question. And I'm not. Listen, I don't care. I'm not in the documentary. I've got 10,000 subscribers. I'm nobody. Yeah. But she didn't do a very good job of answering that.
You're right. You know her.
I think the correct answer here, well, for me, is I'm not going to perpetuate conspiracy theory, regardless of how many subscribers I've got. It's about the content and the quality of the content, and so I'm looking to substantiate.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. They disagree with that theory about Ernie, because it's like Ernie said, because he was like, she just disappeared. I'd somebody took her. That was all he said. I'd somebody took her. But your mind is going to go that way, isn't it? Because if you look where the bench is and you look in the River Wye there and she's not there, you're going to think, well, she's not fell in there, otherwise she'd still be there. So then my mind would go like that, well, God has somebody took her. You would think that, but you wouldn't think the road Scott's gone down, because basically blaming Ernie for being a drug smuggler back in there through cattle. So he's not only saying he had something to do with his daughter's death, he's also calling him a drug dealer on top of it. Honestly, where he gets off with this, I don't know.
Legitimate lines of inquiry, and to create legitimate lines of inquiry. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do. And I think we did a fair job of it over the time. You know, we looked into some things and poo-pooed them. We looked into some things and opened them up. I don't think there's much wrong with it. I'm not going to do as good a job as the police.
Or have you've still, I've just seen Fletch on the real life hedgehog, and then you've put on it now, aka Fletch. Or has that always been there and I've only just noticed? I don't know. I know you changed your name to the real life hedgehog, but have you just put aka Fletch on it?
Well, looking at this documentary, maybe I could do as good a job as the police, but no, I'm not going to do as good a job as the police. And
You're not going to do a good job of anything, Scott, coming out with bullshit like you do.
like, I think the family, as much as they'd be angry about some of the people on social media, maybe they
You in particular. That's who they're angry about. You're the only one on the internet that has accused your own father of being involved.
shouldn't be completely as black and white as all this, because if you look at it, like, some of us on social media were critiquing Peter Folding. Some of us on social media were critiquing Mark Williams-Thomas, you know. Actually, I didn't critique Mark Williams-Thomas till later on. But there are people out there that social media, and again, it's not conspiracy theory, you know, they looked into them and they found they were bad eggs, you know. And there are people out there.
Who looked into them and found there was bad eggs? You? The only you looked into them, Scott, and said they were bad eggs. Nobody else.
That maybe could have helped the family if the family had listened to some of that critique. So it's not all bad. It's a melting pot of different ideas. But yeah, I don't think the correct answer for me, you know, and I'm fair enough to talk about me on my own channel here, aren't I? Because, you know, essentially I've had the same critique leveled at me by being a clip in this segment. Is no, I don't think.
Because he thinks he's somebody now because he's been on paedophile BBC.
We seek to perpetuate conspiracy theory here, not on Superchuffer. I'd like to substantiate legitimate lines of inquiry. Thank you very much. But also have a good laugh. And I'm surprised.
Fucking arse, innit? What an arse.
I didn't use the work meeting quick. Quite frankly, why didn't you use the work meeting clip? That was our fucking highlight.
Not entirely correct here, is it? Because your missus is missing.
When the door's shut, you don't know what arguments have gone on if they were going to stay together, because there was a lot of rumours saying that they weren't going to be staying together.
So, you know, maybe that question's fairer for her. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that question's more fair for her, because if she's been going on about whether they're going to stay together and all this stuff and about their relationship, I didn't talk about that because I didn't know about it. So, you know, I could have asked, do you think they, you know, of the audience, and you know, if they're not had a good relationship, X, Y, Z. But I'm not going to say, oh, did you hear Paul had been seen around so and so's house and this and that. I just, you know, I'd heard lots.
No, but you accused Paul of having it off with Emma. He tries backpedal, doesn't he? Well, I didn't say this, and I didn't do that. You said every single thing going. That's what you did.
Rumours, but I can't do a show like that. It's just, again, no substance to it.
Can I substantiate you? I don't even know what the word means, and I wouldn't even pretend for no. So can somebody tell me in chat what it means? I don't know. Because, like I say, I'm not this big Shakespeare fencing. Think I am someday. I don't know what that word actually means, and like I say, I'll not pretend to.
Do it. So, but maybe she had. So maybe the question's more fair for her, I guess. And I don't know. No, you know, I don't know whether I should defend this lady or critique her in the same way, because I haven't seen.
It just means to prove it. Is that what it means? Thanks, Bruce.
Content, and to be fair as well, it doesn't look like they're showing much of it. Like,
Well, does it though? Every single scenario comes to a brick wall. Okay, I'll give you some scenarios that don't come to a brick wall. Because, like, one, she's gone off
I'm the clips and she's doing the talking. Yeah. So.
because she just fucking hates you.
It just went like that overnight. It went from Nikki's gone missing, she might have run away, to husband's killed her.
If I'd murdered my... Oh God, I'm going down this road a bit now. If I'd murdered my wife...
Oh, there's some nasty people out there that just conjure up rubbish.
Nicola and Paul was happy as a couple and as a family.
They loved each other.
Yeah.
They were always together. And they just liked being together.
Some of the absolute batshit crazy things that were being said. Conspiracies about me having...
So you see, why has he not said anything then? When Dot and Ernie said something. Yeah, Deacon, this is him talking about. This is him. I think it was day after the documentary. I did an hour on it the other day, and I'm just doing rest of it now because I want to see what other absolute fucking bullshit he comes out with.
Having an affair with one of Nikki's friends, and then that wasn't Nikki who left my house that morning.
Today, new images have been given to the BBC showing Nicola packing her car on the morning she disappeared.
But then he released something to
To prove the truth of something.
To try and squash something, and all it does is then spirals into something else.
On the clothing that Nicola was last seen wearing.
Looking at the CCTV and then listening to the police description of Nicola.
They are an ankle-length black quilted gilet jacket.
If you look at the CCTV, it is not ankle length and it doesn't look black to me. The person that was wearing the long black jacket was Emma White.
Like, she
People
seems
were
quite.
saying, why
She
would-
seems quite fair and normal here, so I don't know if they're making her seem bad either. Like, you know.
I didn't think they made this lady look bad at all. They're the only person that yeah, thanks Peter. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. I think Grizzly didn't look bad. This lady didn't look bad. I think the only person in this that looked bad was him.
The only thing I don't like is that at the end when they did the conspiracy question, she didn't shut it down and said, well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, thank you very much. But she seems quite fair to ask that question, doesn't she?
Will give Emma White's description and not Nicola's description.
And also,
They were just
they've got Paul on, they don't answer her. Like, she asks them a question, they don't take it back to Paul and get her an answer.
different things that didn't add up at the time made people question, including myself.
Do you ever get worried that being part of that increases?
Who's torturing her? I torture.
The conspiracy theories.
No.
These names that keep popping up, they tickle me.
It doesn't worry me because at the end of the day, in the great scheme of what's going on out there, 1,000 people in my life is a lot to me, but in the population, it's not.
You've got reality.
Like I say,
going
before
on.
we get onto this bit about reality, that makes her look really bad as well because she doesn't say whether it's taken. I suppose I'm repeating myself.
No, he's trying to make a hey twinner. Have I said hi to you once, love? I think I have. Hello anyway. Because they've made him look bad, he's trying to say, oh, and they made this content creator look bad as well, where I don't think anybody looked bad except him.
But she doesn't explain whether she's taking on conspiracy or not. She just says, well, you know, there's not many of us. She basically says, we're basically nobodies. There's not many people watching, are there? So, you know, which it doesn't come across very well in my opinion. Like, but yeah.
But they watch.
Yeah, but how many? Was it 54,000 last time I looked have watched these case solved? So it's not just a couple of thousand there. It's 54,000 people, probably more now.
The conspiracy theory.
And he actually said on stream it was hoping to get to 100,000.
No, it doesn't worry me because at the end of the day, in the great scheme of what's going on out there, 1,000 people in my life is a lot to me, but in the population, it's not.
You've got reality going on, but they're watching it like a soap opera. Even some well-meaning people, they just revel in drama.
I was on my phone and me and Mum were at Paul's and I just had a message come up from a lady referring to a video of me dancing.
Right, yeah, so let me get into this stuff. So again, I think I'm going to skim over this bit now and not watch this because I would never show a video of her dancing from ages ago. This is the sort of stuff that I debunked before I put it on my channel, so I didn't put it on my channel. Like, I'd never, you know, people sent me all sorts of things and, like, not saying there was bad, well, there were some bad people sending some malicious things, but, like, you know, yeah, this is bad. What the hell's that doing on the internet?
You were one of them. Saying bad malicious things. Did I find it strange that Emma White was not in the documentary? Not really, no, because I think it was more the family's, the actual family's point of view. That's why I think that it was the family against content creators and the police. I think that's where they was going with it. So I think having Emma on, not family, would have, well, probably this idiot just put out more accusations. She probably could have been asked, but I think they was keeping it just to family for the simple reason it's the family that's having a go at content creators.
Internet, like, yeah.
They don't know me. They don't.
I mean, in context with the Nicola Buddy case saying
Yeah, I am Reese.
you're dancing, it was bad. They did it to Jay Slater's mom as well, didn't they? A video of her dancing. Like, that's probably why they drew the parallel here in this documentary.
know us. They don't know Nikki. They know nothing about us. Just messages like you back.
And we get this bit, you know.
Can't do anything about it.
his right to reply saying he can't do anything about it, which is ridiculous as well, because what he did about it was to go and do the interview, to release things into the press, drip feed, leak CCTV images. So he did do things about it.
All that kind of stuff. There was some that I felt like replying. The nightmare that we're in.
This river, I would have thought.
And then we get on to folding. So that's another chapter, isn't it? Folding and stuff like that. But, you know, just quickly, you know, to highlight the inconsistency again, that brought in by the family, or did Peter Folding offer his services? And apparently they're not big friends anymore, are they?
Well, it actually says, Scott, if you'd watched the documentary, like you said, you watched it 3 times, it actually shows you Paul saying he rang Peter for help. He was the one that reached out to Peter. Because Peter had been on the news. I think one of the news channels got in touch with somebody that knew about Darwin and suches. So they probably sought after Peter for say, can you come and do an interview and let us know your thoughts? And Paul said he saw him in the news and thought, I'll reach out to this fella. So it was Paul that reached out to him. He didn't go in and sit himself down there and say, I'm the big cheese, I'll find her. He didn't do that. Paul asked him would he help, and the fella said, of course I will. But he's still trying to make out that I didn't know whether Peter went and insulted himself or where we got down there. He asked that given how much scene featured in the original search. I asked that given how much scene she featured in the... Yeah, I know what you mean, because she was like one of the main ones, wasn't she, at front of camera and things like that. And yeah, I know what you mean, John. Yeah. But that was my well, it was just my thoughts of they've just stuck to family, haven't they? Because I think if Emma had gone, I think there would have been backlash if with dicks like this on the internet. I think there would have been a bit more backlash. Yeah, Peter was asked and he declined. I think it says at the end of the documentary that, doesn't it, John? Does it say at the end of the documentary that they asked him but he declined? And it's not surprising for the way that how the Lancashire police made him leak. I bet he's glad he declined now. Because I think they just used him. Because he never once mentioned, well, the Lancashire police didn't find him. You know, their dad was, all he kept mentioning was Peter. Well, Peter's not found him. Why did they say, well, the Lancashire police didn't find him as well, so how can they just make one fella out thought look bad and not the Lancashire police as well? Because they didn't find her.
Yeah, there's another bit I wanted to highlight before I go to. I'm not going to, I think most people just wanted to see what I had to say about myself, really.
Yeah, because you think you're a big I am. You want people to see what you say about yourself. Well, what people should be saying about you, Scott, is you're an absolute vile human being for doing this.
It just is what it is, isn't it? Being this, it just is what it is. It's not the. I'm not going to win an Oscar, and they're not going to come and fucking take me to the loony bin. It's just nothing, really. I mean, something, but it's. Do you know what I mean? In 10 years' time, I'm not going to be writing stories about how I was in this documentary. Although do you remember I was in Vox magazine for my ASMR channel? I was in Vox magazine, and do you know that I was captain of the British fencing team when I was 17, and I was.
He's doing this set piss. Now this is taking the piss now.
So yeah, but.
Because this will be on his CV, won't it? Oh yeah, I was in a BBC documentary, and he'll go, yeah, oh yeah, I edited that. Oh yeah, I put myself in like that. Oh yeah, I did that. He'll push himself in, won't it? That's what he'll do. I mean, he did all that Eddie Strong thing. No, doing that, Bell. It was all he's doing that.
It's all good. And then there's a bit that I wanted to pick up on as well, though. Like I said, we're going to go through it in much more detail.
He reassures himself, doesn't it? It's all good. It's all good. It's not, Scott. You look bad. You look terrible.
I also look out for that. But the way they treat the TikToker there and me, I guess. And then in contrast, this is the way they treat Jason Rothwell. Now, Jason Rothwell did find Nicola's body. So he is I suppose, like a character, in inverted commas. I don't want to say actor, like, because,
what a cock in big letters, Em. It's been actually speeded up all along. It's just I've just done it a little bit more now because he is getting on my nerves now. He does.
Some people think it's full on access, don't they? But and I'm going to talk to people who believe in that stuff maybe in the future and just see what their opinions are. But in inverted commas, Scott, she effing hates it. Pick up Glenn. Thank you, admitted audacity. Thank you very much. You're on a button.
I've done a murder.
So.
And why's he have to put that button straight in the middle of that? I've done a murder. Definitely made you thoughtful about Scott's intentions. Have I care? Well, like I said, people are allowed their own opinion. I'm not doing this for change anybody's minds or anybody's. All this is how I see him now. My opinions of him. And if people I don't say what's seen through my eye, but if people can just take a step back away from him and actually look proper, would they actually agree with this, with what he's doing to this family? Yeah, it was the Lancashire police, but I don't know what you mean. When he said Peter lied, I don't know where Peter lied. I don't think he lied.
Yeah, like big up stupid. Like we didn't do any conspiracies. Yeah, I felt like the reason
we didn't do it. Why does he keep banging on? We didn't do any conspiracies, and he has on this channel, on the Superchuffer channel. Why can't people see that? I've not done any conspiracies. You have, Scott. The biggest one.
Wanting to talk about that head on there is because obviously they put little clips of my channel in, and then they asked a woman about the conspiracies, and I felt like in some way I was being bracketed in with people online who just said a load of shit, and like in a way kind of am, but there's levels. Yeah, just I went to.
Who's fighting? Oh, me. I'm not. It's just how like Peter and I think he's. But my opinion, Joe. I'm not saying it has to be anybody else's opinion, but my opinion, I think they used Peter because they didn't like him. He'd gone in, he found her within minutes, I think, and said, "I think that's her." They wouldn't let him dive. That he was told as soon as he turned up, "You can go and loot, but you're not allowed to dive." And I think that it was the police that lied. The police lied to him and said it's not her. So he's going to believe he's not going to think, "Oh, they're lying to me." He's going to then question himself, isn't he, and think, "Well, what?" He's not going to think Lancashire police are going to lie to him when they said it weren't her. So that's why he said, I can categorically say that she's not in River, because that was the only target he said he had. And the police said it were her, and it was. No fight. Yeah, you were the king. You were the king.
Kes doesn't mean I overlook folk, no, because Kes is not a paid school. Like it's a grammar school, so like I'm a working class person in an environment with quite smart people, but just smart people, not rich people. Although some of them are quite rich, I guess, because you can put your kid through tutoring or whatever. But yeah, just I went to Kes doesn't mean that I would overlook folk, no, because I am folk. Thanks, big ups.
Everyday life, sir. Just because you went to Kes doesn't mean that you can overlook folk. He doesn't overlook them. He looks down on them. Is this the college you went to, Kes?
I'm going to include Peter Folding, yeah. Like, I'm not going to do it now, though, because it's like after midnight. This was like a quick react. Well, I wanted to make sure I came on and did a react after it had been on the telly when everyone could have seen it. Because there was a lot of reacts today, and it was on the iPlayer, and I just watched everyone else's react, and I was interested.
Yeah, John, he's only... Don't take Joe Boy on, he's only joking. He likes a good turn up. I fight to fire a but we're just tramps in caravans anyway. That's what he says, Joe Boy. I'm nothing but a tramp in a caravan. That's what he thinks of people that live in Chalice. Tramps.
I wanted to make sure I came on here and said some stuff. Made sure that I reacted to the bit about me. And I think that's mainly what people were interested in seeing. Certainly I could see that some people are knocking on the head now because I've done that bit. But there's a little bit like, the difference in how Jason is handled here. And I just like to critique the way that... And I think it's fair, though, because like I say, I've praised the documentary in some ways. I'll show you. Like Jason Dean Rothwell, we've looked at
At the
him
end
on
of that-
social media, and he's a fucking fraud. And like, well, in my opinion, the psychic stuff is fraud. He's like, not really talking to anyone that's dead. That's my opinion, and I think we can go to court on it, can't we? And he also had that video of him saying about how he put dead meat, rotten meat, into a bin, and there was all flies and maggots in the bin, and he was excited by how it was decomposing. And he's named himself after the characters from Heathers, which were murderers. In Heathers, Christian Slater plays a character called Jason Dean, and Rothwell is a town nearby, so he's named himself after the character in Heathers, and that's a murderer in Heathers. And there was a young lad that was murdered, died tragically in the river near Preston, who looked a bit like Christian Slater and was on the scene down there where most of the people that were on the scene, like Jason Rothwell, would have been. So we could go into that in more detail.
I've seen that. I've watched that, Louise. Adventures with Purpose, equivalent to Peter, but they're from the US. Blowing. And yeah, I've watched a few of them, Louise. It is, and it's heartbreaking when they found him in the water. With it's cars and things into normally what they find with people in cars and that what's not been able to be found.
On the other hand, because Jason Rothwell claimed to have found him and he didn't find him, there's no evidence to suggest that Jason Dean Rothwell found him. But he seems to want to be attached to that case. Maybe he is. So anyway, Jason Dean Rothwell, who I would say is completely incredible in my opinion, like my professional, for what it's worth, opinion.
Didn't Trisha do a thingy on Jason? He changed his story. Was it something about his dog's name that died 2 weeks before? And the dog's name was the same as a fishery nearby. And then he changed it to Two Fish or something. So he's right there. Jason's story didn't add up. But you can look at it that way. When Peter said he said that was Nicola there, and then the police said no, it weren't. Then Snowden said, "Oh, they'll find her on the 19th," working the days out when the water rises and falls, of how long it could take her to get somewhere around there. So the police knew it was her. The police knew she was there. Have they not contacted Jason and said, go and have a walk down there and have a look? Come down to the Chalet at Southport in the restaurant for a drink. Be good to see you. Is that where Line Dancing Club used to be? I think there's a chalet thing there, isn't there? At Southport. They used to have that club built on like a nightclub thing. What they used to do line dancing and things like that. I think, Joe. Is that what you mean?
And I would put him in the bracket of social media full on nut jobs. The only difference is he found.
Oh, there it is. First it was Two Dead Fish, then he changed it to Hudson. That's the one.
Yeah, he was the one that like poked her with a stick and said, "There she is." Yeah, that's the only difference between him and every other social media nut job. In fact, he's worse than every other social media nut job. He does all like psychic call-ins and he's in my opinion, he's probably a terrible grifter. Like that psychic calling stuff, I don't have any cop with that.
Sheldrakes. Is that where it is, Amethyst? Is it Sheldrakes? That?
Maybe he'll sue me. I don't know. But I'm not a big fan of Jason Dean Rothwell. Let's put it that way. And I'm surprised that the producers of this documentary show him so much respect. Let's have a look. It's a bit of comic relief at the end of the show. I mean, as I say, we will go through this. They'll do me for copyright guaranteed if I just play the whole thing and then just, but I'll do a stop, start, pause. We'll watch it. I'll show you some reacts. It will come. I'll upload on this channel. Maybe some of them will be members content as well to just avoid that monetization copyright problem. I just put it as members content and I don't have to get copyright strikes because I won't monetize it. Well, it will be monetized because the members can watch it and you're paid to watch it as members. But no.
See? Because he wants being paid for it. He'll put it as members, and that the other bit where he talks about Peter Folding, what he said is just going to skip over. He'll do it as a members only. So you've got to be a member for watch it. Grifting. That's a grift.
No guarantees yet. We're just going to do it as a big project on Twitch and upload them as they come. But yeah, this is Jason Dean Rothwell getting respect.
We were getting into the window that a body would potentially come up to the surface. All of the searches were aerial based, and we had.
Oh, thanks, Joe Boy. Big up Supreme's bed. Yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot about that one. I'd have shouted it out without you doing that. Yeah. Anybody want a bed? Supreme beds. Joe Boy's your boy. Joe Boy's your boy. Joe Boy's your man. Oh, Riverside. Riverside. Harrison's holidays. Are you related to Harrison's, you? I know some at Harrison's. Round my end. The showmen. The showmen ones. You know what I mean when I say showmen, don't you? They have candies and things like that. Like silk type things. Yeah. Bad dogs, I don't know what you're on about. I'm just saying what I've saw off Trish's thingy. I've not seen anybody saying anything in chat about. Yeah, I remember the lamb. I remember going camping there when I was younger. When I was about 18, went camping on that Southport one.
Had static points on river bridges with officers observing the surface of the water.
A spiritualist medium believes that...
Before we do that, you know this drone shot here? Like, it's the same river, but you see this river up high and moving slowly with the drone. It looks like a very slow river. But when you get down low and move fast over it, it looks like a very fast river and quite dangerous. It's all about perspective, that is, on the drone.
At the end of that third week,
and it's because the pace of the drone.
You can get your hammers out, guys, if you want. I'm just saying.
We're going upstream and the water's moving against us, so it looks even double fast.
To the window that a body would potentially come up to the surface.
If you watch that shot again, instead of the water, you focus on the reeds at the side. It doesn't look like you're moving as fast.
Bless should be mortified.
And we had static points on river bridges with officers observing the surface of the water.
A spiritualist medium believes that life continues.
So I filmed with someone who works in one of these spiritual churches before, and the church is a very elegant looking building, and they shared it with an actual proper church, so it wasn't even their fucking church, but I understand, this is a documentary. Jason has found her.
Yeah, the showman for people, yeah.
You are presenting him like all the other people in the documentary. He's been given a chair, he's looking, it's that's symmetrical Kubrick shot again. It makes him look very, very, and the way he talks about, a spiritual church is this and we do this, makes him look almost like kind of like normal and professional.
Oh, Super Fluffer. Hi, Honor. Hi, Super Fluffer. Step aside, Joe boy. The real king is here. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I won't find out who this Super Bluffer is, mate. But I'm not. Super Bluffer's been round a while, Joe boy, but I've not a clue who it is. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, sweetheart. It just every now and again it pops up. Well, I'm saying it could be, but in my head I've got it's a man. It just pops up willy nilly. He's got go and check the channel out, Joe boy. They have got a channel. I've looked at it a few times.
When actually, if you look at his social media content, he looks like a fucking savage nutter to me. So I think they're giving him a lot more respect than I would. Do you know what I mean? A lot more respect.
After
and why wouldn't you just? You should just give everybody respect, whether he thinks he's a nutter or not. Just give him respect, and his Rogan Productions have reached out to him, and he's gone on.
We call physical death. Nicola, when I first communicated with her...
I can't believe they left this in. Nicola, when I first communicated with her, what did you do, page her? You didn't communicate with her, in my opinion. Well, I think it's fair for me to say I don't think you communicated with her because she was dead. But is it possible that you did communicate with her? Because that would be like some sort of mad evidence thing.
Yeah, we did that thing where I'm Super Bluffer. No, I'm Super Bluffer. I can't Spartacus. Well, I think one day, saying that, I was going to say I think one day I might figure it out, but if it's somebody I just don't know at all, I'll never know. I'll never know, will I? No, it's not. Was you thinking it was Scott? It's not Scott. Because obviously he's like, Suzanne's just said he wouldn't give me money. Scott wouldn't part with his money giving it me.
Like, you said you communicated with her, they put it in the documentary. You communicated with her.
Bless her, she'd be mortified.
She'd be mortified.
Of what's happened and how it's all come about, and, you know, and it's horrible.
He's not just delusional, he's sick.
Horrible to think that.
At the end of that third week, we were getting into the window that a body would potentially come up to the surface. All of the searches were aerial based, and we had static points on river bridges with officers.
To me was, find me where you find your dog. So my dog Hudson had died a few weeks earlier, so I just typed in St.
So again, like, it's all right to be typing in on Google what Nicola told you to search for, but out of all the people they've had on and all the things that have been said in this documentary and how important it's been to the family that they're so sensitive about all these issues, and the family have all been crying and all the bad TikTokers, and we have Jason Dean Rothwell say that she fucking told him where she was at the end, and that isn't going to be weird for the family, or like, you know, they're going to watch this documentary. So I'm glad that we got this conclusion on it and this part towards it. I'm glad that.
But stop it, Rosie. But like I said, I think obviously the family have watched this before it's been heard. They're not just going to do it and then put it on and then let the family just see what they've done when it's actually on telly. Yeah, Superchuffer wrote Rachel's song, didn't I remember that. It's Torture, you Superchuffer as well. Is everybody Superchuffer?
That Jason Dean Rothwell appears at the end and gives us that really professional, like, you know, not at all creepy and weird, like, what the fuck? And they treat it with such respect. Like, they just give him they don't put clips of his social media and show you that he's a fucking nut job, do they? Like, did they do the research? And he doesn't even bother to dress up for it either. He's just wearing his jumper. Like, maybe it's his nicest jumper, but it doesn't look like a nice jumper. I don't like your jumper.
Michael on the Weir Hudson.
It says in with Knights of the Realm jumper on. Knights at the Round Table. Oh, God. I've got some No, I'm Superchuffer. Yes, sure. Yes, you know who I'm talking to. Yes, I'm not talking to any eagle. I'm talking to this idiot. You know who you are.
And there is a place called Hudson.
I've got Alan texting me now, telling me he's Superchuffer.
Fishery just along that piece of the water. And so we walked on the river to
the joking, he's not really.
Place that she said she would be, and then this object came floating.
Right, it wasn't an object, it was her body, you say. Yeah, so object is a little bit disrespectful. And
saying an object is disrespectful. He said object at first because he didn't know what it was. So he looked and he saw an object. And now he's saying that's disrespectful. After the vile things he said about digging her up and shit like that. Yeah, Jason's being disrespectful when he said it. He saw this object at first and then realised.
I mean, maybe that's the way you saw it when it exploded, but you're telling us again that Nicola spoke to you, and they're leaving it in the documentary, and no one's questioning it. Like, it's just like completely acceptable that this man's religious beliefs are that Nicola's speaking to him from beyond the grave, like, and he can hear her, and that he's gone to find her.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not sticking up for Jason Rothwell here, because I think his story's a load of bull. I do think his story's a load of bullshit. Superchuffer's the milk tray man. Don't tell Slinker. Slinker's leaking for a milk tray man.
Like, that's just completely acceptable. And it's not in any way disrespectful to Nicola. Her children won't mind, nor will the parents. They're very upset. Those terrible people on social media. Cut to Jason Dean Rothwell. I mean, I can't believe they put this in like this. Like, there needs to be I know this is his version.
What about all stuff he said when that clip I've got? Have I still got it on here? 1 minute. I have answer. Where?
If you want Nicola.
Yes.
If you want Nicola Bulley's kids to sleep easy, why are you clipping the things I've said and putting them up on the internet so they exist there so Nicola Bulley's kids can see them? Like, the worst bits.
The worst bits of what he said, why are people clipping them and putting them on the internet? Because you've said them, Scott. And now you're banging on, here.
At the end, and that isn't going to be weird for the family, or like, you know, they're going to watch this documentary. So I'm glad that we got this conclusion on it and this part towards it. I'm glad that Jason Dean Rothwell appears at the end and gives us that really professional, like, you know, not at all creepy and weird, like, what the fuck? And they treat it with such respect. Like, they just give him the, like, they don't put clips of his social media and show you that he's a fucking nutjob, do they? Like, did they do the research? And he doesn't even bother to dress up for it either. He's just wearing his jumper. Like, maybe it's his nicest jumper. It doesn't look like a nice jumper. I don't like your jumper.
Michael on the way Hudson. And there is a place called Hudson's Fishery just along that piece of the water. And so we walked along the river to the place that she said she would be, and then this object came floating.
Right, it wasn't an object, it was her body, you say. Yeah, so object is a little bit disrespectful. And
I'm too far back.
I mean, maybe that's the way you saw it when it was floating. But you're telling us again that Nicholas spoke to you, and they're leaving it in the documentary, and no one's questioning it. Like, it's just like completely acceptable that this man's religious beliefs are that Nicholas speaking to him from beyond the grave, like, and he can hear her, and that he's gone to find her. Like, that's just completely acceptable. And it's not in any way disrespectful to Nicola. Her children won't mind, nor will the parents. They're very upset. Those terrible people on social media. Cut to Jason Dean Rothwell. I mean, I can't believe they put this in like this. Like, there needs to be I know this is his version, the family's version, whatever, like, but this is his version. But really? I suppose they treat the audience with the respect to assume that we would watch this and go, well, he's a fucking nutter. Listen to what he
says. And again.
If you want Nicola Bulley's kids to sleep easy, why are you clipping the things I've said and putting them up on the internet so they exist there so Nicola Bulley's kids can see them? Like, the worst bits.
Stormed is that disgusting Val. That's what he gets up to on Twitch. That's what he looks like on Twitch. I don't know what he's on.
If you want Nicola Bulley's kids to sleep easy, why are you clipping the things I've said and putting them up on the internet so they exist there so Nicola Bulley's kids can see them? Like, the worst bits.
Val, you're just Val.
He's saying, this can't be right. But doesn't that leave like a really weird note and sour taste towards the end? Like, or is this just fine for people that, oh, that's how he found her. She told him.
In the water.
Police have closed off Rockcliffe Road, very close to where Nicola was last seen.
Police drone, divers, officers, roads cordoned off here.
I got a call from...
He came out like the cunt from hell, didn't he?
On the river to the place that she said she would be, and then this object came floating in the water.
Police have closed off Rockcliffe Road, very close to where Nicola was last seen.
This guy, he came out like a total toss piece, didn't he? Oh, I'm glad they trusted me to interview them, because it made great telly when they cried. It was gold dust when they cried. It's like fucking gold mine round here. I hope they never find her. Like, he just said, I didn't say that, did he? But like, you know, he was like, I'm glad they cried because it made great telly. And he also said it was a very competitive environment, trying to get the story about this. What are they on? What are you on? What are you on?
I done a murder.
Is, you know, how on earth can you... I think if you're in that environment and you are being competitive and seeing it as a competitive thing, then maybe you should just change your job because you're a fucking arsehole. Like, oh, well, that's just the world of that media. Yeah, okay then. But like, you're contributing to it as well. So like, it's bad. Oh, Scott, but you're on the internet contributing to all this badness. Hey. You know, I don't watch people crying. I think that's going to make great copy. Like, they think I'm bad for suggesting bad things about the family. Oh, you know, what did I suggest? Well, I found video of what I believe. Video evidence to me is good. Like, I'm allowed to have my beliefs. I'm not putting it in the nose of the family. I'm not sending them emails. I'm not doing anything like that. You know, I've got my opinions and my things. They're all on my...
No, but you're on the internet telling people that you think Ernie had something to do with his own daughter's death. That's what you've done, Scott. And like, there's 6,000 people watch this now. There's last time I looked at the other one where you're blaming Ernie, there were 54,000 people watched it. So no matter what you do or what you say, well, I'm just somebody on thingy. You're spewing bullshit and awful, awful lies about that family.
Channel, that's fine in my world. In his world, it's also fine to go on Sky News and egg them up to cry and get great copy and, you know, whatever it takes because it's a competitive world out here. Like, he said he felt pressured to give good stories. Or when you feel pressured to give stories like that, to create stories, you know, there are some YouTubers that feel that. They're on every day, dropping a video every day. Oh, wow, something new. I'm pressured because I've got to keep up this facade. Like, you're in the wrong game. Like, take some more time over it. I feel good for the people in this documentary that at least they had a few months to put this together. Maybe they felt pressured, I don't know. But if you feel pressured to produce a story, you're going to produce a load of shit, aren't you? Like, you're going to end up making things up and cutting corners. Or, like, finding...
When did it come out? October. Well, we started reaching out to people in February, so it's not been a pressure. It's not been something they've think together. It's been over months and months and months they've been putting since February. They've been putting that documentary together, and I have proof it's from February, and I have no reason to lie.
Angles that create hysteria or crying or great copy, sell those tickets. I don't like it. I felt he came across really bad.
Yeah, says the man who lives with his mum, slags people off that lives in caravans. I'm just beneath him. You know what I mean? I'm just a champ. I'm a champ in a caravan, and I'm beneath him. Yeah, he lives at home with his mum.
Badly, and he knows what he was saying, and he tried to fucking, you know.
Hi, India. Hi, love. As you recall, he never touched on the reality of what happened, only wild speculation. Yeah, he did.
Say it better.
For people, for views and clicks and likes and subs, memberships. And now you sit back and look, you can see exactly what he did.
On the other hand, this was made to make him look bad, and they filmed him and edited him and made him look bad, didn't they? So maybe he said, you know, in that situation you feel.
And he keeps saying how they made other people look bad. They didn't. I don't think they made anybody else look bad, apart from Peter Falding. But that was the police is doing that, which I think's wrong.
Really pressured to give good copy, which is why I won't do that. And I always take an hour off before the interviews so that we feel relaxed. I mean, they cut that bit. I mean, I doubt he did, but they might have been.
Are you a champ too, Amethyst? You've got a caravan in North Wales and you love it. You're a champ, love. Amethyst, you're just a fucking tramp. Come and join. Come and be a clammy tramp with me. Come on. I'm just a clam in a caravan.
Slightly. I doubt they did.
Drone,
It felt like the producers of this documentary, commissioned by the BBC that they are, felt like they got a grievance on their shoulder, like a chip on their shoulder. And their chip is that the scumbags on social media call everyone a murderer. And what do they know? They're just scumbags on social media. And the scumbags from fucking Sky News that are being paid, because remember, we're on the BBC and we're not being paid properly. But, like, you know, the scumbags in this Murdoch media empire are just trying to.
Yeah, we went from when it showed you Paul saying it said the bastard word on, and it clicked through it, so there was no swearing, so we could get monetised. He's effing and blinding, you know.
Drive all this hysteria, and that makes those fucking trolls on TikTok even worse. And we're the fucking, like, I do respect the BBC, or did until I saw this documentary. But
I think he forgets where he is sometimes because this is his Superchuffer channel, and he doesn't normally act this way on here.
thought that, you know, they're supposed to hold everyone to account because they're not driven by those market forces. You know, there shouldn't be any pressure to provide.
This is where he actually loses his composure and forgets where he is and what he's actually doing.
Story, that it's just the truth that matters. But here they seem to have a right chip on their shoulder and a hard on for not just social. You know, we all expected the social media tear down, didn't we? But that was provided by this.
He's thinking now he's on Twitch, just talking to them 30 people that go and watch him on there, and he can say what he wants.
Of mainstream media, because this lot of mainstream media, as competitive as it is, felt they were out of control of the story and they were losing to social media. So they're on social media now, and they think it's the new journalism. So they're going to be in it, looking like you, pretending to be you, you know, driving it forward. Fake comments, a lot. Doesn't matter. Pay for your fake comments, pay for your fake views. You're only made of toffee. You're only made of chews. So the point is that this documentary seeks to throw him under the bus as much as it seeks to throw any of the rest of them. Am I being thrown under the bus? I don't really feel like I am I? You know, I look reasonably comedic, if anything.
He's so up his own ass. I've not been thrown under the bus. You've made yourself look like a right twat. And I don't mind swearing because I'm not bothered about the monetisation piece. God, don't bother me. I'll swear my fucking head off.
So yeah, like I did get a nasty.
That's the cat, Louise, he is, isn't it?
It was nasty. No, that was edited next to me, wasn't it? The word nasty from the dad. I think, I dare say, if Alan had still, shouldn't talk about him on this channel, but, you know, if Persona Non Grata had still been on YouTube, he might have got in there as, like, the worst of the worst, but perhaps they couldn't find his videos. But yeah, like... They
were talking to Alan behind the scenes, Scott. Talking about you.
I feel like it's a bit rich, isn't it, as well? Like, you know, from the BBC here, in this particular documentary, to sneer at these people for the way they've made their media, whether they be social or mainstream, because the way that...
half the stuff he's saying, I don't understand. I don't understand half the stuff he's babbling on about.
This piece has been created.
So I don't know why people can watch him that's like me. What he'd say is like, oh, stupid. That's why I put these on, because I'm stupid. You just... It makes himself this higher, superior person that you can think, oh, well, this guy has these big words and he seems to know what he's on about and that. But it's all, it's big bravado. It's a big show of just big words. What half the population probably don't understand.
You know, he's not completely without bias, I feel. And that's what we're looking for, really, isn't it? Something without bias. It's entertainment, it's the BBC, it's I don't want to call it docudrama, but, dramatic documentary. And there's clearly a bias, isn't it? There's clearly a bias, which is to say the family are completely innocent of anything, and maybe looked weird, and maybe made mistakes, but it's your fault for taking it the wrong way. And without
Yeah, it is, then. That's exactly what they're saying.
information, or the wrong or right information, and we haven't delved into the other parts about which information was released when.
Do true crime. I am into Torchy. I'm well into true crimes, mate. I am. One of my, like, true crime documentaries. Boxing news period of 48 hours. I've got, they're all on my subscribe. All them things are on my subscribe thing.
And stuff tonight, but without that information, maybe this lady representing sort of the main audience and people talking on TikTok is okay to feel the way she feels and have those ideas because she hadn't already explained to her properly. But now I've explained it to all of you properly. It's time for you to shut up. And Jason Dean Rothwell gets tacked on the end, and as I say, the respect he gets, I cannot believe that they didn't find my Jason Dean Rothwell video where I critiqued him and used it as a critique of him here. At least like a little clip of me saying, "Yeah, but he's a fucking nod." I said nod. I don't know what nod means, but you know what I mean. Like
He was going to say nonce then, wasn't he? Oh. Oh, where is it gone?
He was pulling out of that river.
Just along that piece of the water. And so we walked along the river to the place.
Oh, is it gone now? Bollocks.
He was pulling out of that river.
Just along that piece of the water. And so we walked along the river to the place that she said she would be. And then this object came floating.
What have I done with it now? He was going to say nonce, though, wasn't he?
Points, certain people get named and they don't. And when Jizzy was supplied with the CCTV, it was through one of Paul Ansell's friends. So this was one of Nicky's friends, not one of his friends. And they called him to say there was a lot of activity. And the police were there doing stuff. I suppose the police hadn't confirmed that it was Nicky, so they wouldn't have called him. But yeah, one of Nicky's friends instead. Fair enough, I suppose.
Your caravan stuff is on your channel. Is it Amethyst?
I knew at that point that it must be.
Gets sad here again, and it is sad. The trauma that these people have been through is sad. Whether
He doesn't.
let's make this really clear.
He doesn't show any emotion, though, does he? There's just no emotion, no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing. Oh, this is sad. This bit's sad.
In case anyone's got the wrong end of the stick about any of my content, whilst in the early stages, I'm happy to absolutely critique and analyse and throw shade around. Do I think Paul Ansell murdered Nicola Bulley? Not 100%. I'm not going to be able to take him to the gallows.
Oh, thank you, Super Bluffer. Ignore Keith Furboy. Use Keith Furboy and have a drink with this king. Hello, Dope. Is it all silly stuff, Amethyst, on you for your caravan? I will have a look at that.
Like, I think there's not enough evidence to say that she fell in that river, as clearly stated in this documentary. Ernest himself says there's not enough evidence. They themselves thought that she'd been kidnapped. We'll go into that in more depth, of course. But without that strong evidence, that is fair to ask those questions, to utilise the things that we've got to try and create more substance, which is to analyse the things Paul has said, stuff like that, the interviews. That's the majority of it. But with the stuff I've done later, I'm not saying that I think Ernie Bulley murdered Nicola. I'm not saying that Ernie Bulley was directly responsible for killing Nicola. But I think that the world that people operate in and around Nicola, I don't want to be too clear, but also I don't want to be too opaque either. But the world that is being, basically, I think there's a criminal world, and that Nicola has brushed up against it and become the victim of it, and that's not the fault necessarily of Nicola, but the people around her.
See, where's he after doing this? There is a criminal world. Why? Where's he get off of calling them criminals now? As if they've not gone through enough. You've got this idiot on internet accusing them of being criminals.
Been brushed up against it and engaged in it. And I think that video of Ernie driving the truck and Peter folding on the front lines, and I think it harks back, I've said it, harks back to something more complex. And so Nicola...
You sound super bluffer now. You're all super bluffer. You are.
Born victim to other people's deeper problems.
Oh, you keep it. All right, are you keep it, boy?
So I'm not saying that these people. I mean, that's an option. I mean, there's another option, isn't there? That Paul put her in the hot tub and just fucking kept her there until, like, or someone at the fisheries had her or something like that. You know, these other options. But in these cases, right? In these cases, the people don't think Paul looked upset enough on this. I would agree with that. But these people look upset enough, I think. You know, and I think whether they're complicit or completely innocent, they're still going to look completely upset. Like, they're still going to be upset, aren't they? So I think that's okay as well. You know, I think that's okay. Penny, I've not got hard on for Penny. You know, I think Penny might be completely innocent, in my opinion. The Fitbit, I've got an episode in it coming at some point. I will have them for ages, and I'm glad that I held off in a way. But yeah, we can talk Fitbit sometime. Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
And now he doesn't want to buy into Paul's story because doesn't get too upset in this. He's that hold it together for them 2 little girls for the past nearly 2 years. And he's wanting to know why he's not getting too upset. Well, it does show you him crying, but Paul could have quite possibly said, don't show me getting too emotional, you know what I mean? But they did show a clip of him crying in it. And he'll just say, oh, like fake that, fake. He's not upset enough. How do you know where you're going to react when something like this happens to you? I think I know I said I don't like talking about it, but I think it took me a couple of days after I lost my grandson for it actually hit home, for it actually just something registered that it would never be coming back. I think it took me a couple of days. Because you don't believe it. You don't believe that this is, you know what I mean? It is like a dream. It's like, it's not really happening. So you don't know, like I said, if you go through any tragedy, you don't know how you're going to react, do you? Until you actually go through it. And I hope to God nobody ever asks for anything like that.
Again, these are things that are not addressed here, are they?
One of Nicky's friends to say there was a lot of activity going on.
Like the whack-a-moles they've done in the documentary have been the very wide arc, easy to whack moles. People said nut stuff on conspiracy theories, and you didn't know that this and that. So, but there are some very interesting questions that are simply not asked.
Yeah, Joe, you don't know how you got. I'm sorry for the loss, sweetie. I am, and it's devastating. And you don't know how you will react till you're actually in that situation yourself. Yeah, you're right. When some things are beyond to you, so you can't. I think when it's something so tragic, really, isn't it? Your brain doesn't compute. It doesn't. And like I say, everybody reacts different to different situations, don't they? So unless you go through anything like it, you just don't know. So he can't. I don't think he's in any situation for say how anybody should be reacting. Oh no, I know you're not after. You're just pointing it out. I know you're not after sympathy, Joe, but you're pointing out what I'm pointing out. You don't know why. If people have not gone through a situation like that, you don't know how you'll react till you're actually in that situation. I know what you mean, sweetie. I know you're not looking for sympathy, love.
Simply not addressed. You know, simply not asked or addressed. I do think this is very beautiful. I suppose we'll finish with it like they did, which is this shot of Nicky.
Sometimes you say, yeah.
You know, very independent.
Yeah. So independent, drove you nuts.
It drove you nuts.
Yeah.
But here, I think it's a very clever shot. I think it's a very clever choice. I think they don't have a huge range of footage of Nicky because it's just stuff they filmed as a family on the phone like this. But the choice to use this particular shot here.
Yeah, because it was family orientated and there was always gathering. That's what Dot and Ernie said. So they've got to have a hell of a lot of videos of them being at home with family, doing family things.
I think it's got a very, and I'm sure they've done this for this reason. I think again, there are some qualities to their work here. It's got no. She floats around on this board, yeah, and Paul is almost enchanted by her. And it's got a very, I want to say heavenly, you know, the blue light, her floating around.
Why does he have to critique this?
A very sort of otherworldly quality to it, and I think it's clever that they've used.
I'm skipping past that.
You know, when I started, I don't have it's been a funny day. I've watched this documentary 6 or 7 times today.
Joe, 6 or 7 times he's watched it now.
Reactions. Usually I don't like to watch other people's reactions. I just keep it to myself. So I'm giving you my fresh, raw, live reaction. But I do understand all the sentimental aspects of it. I do understand that there's children missing their mom, and I do understand that the parents feel devastated. I do have sympathy for that.
But do you? I don't think so. If you had sympathy, Scott, you wouldn't be grifting. You wouldn't be grifting off this family's heartache, and that's what you're doing. Have England lost? You was playing Greece.
I'm not excited that I'm in it necessarily. I'm not hurt that I'm in it or wasn't asked or.
You was excited. You was in it. You were like a child. Doing that, pointing and everything when it was your little bit where you looked like a fucking idiot.
I didn't get interviewed or anything like that. I'm grateful that I'm in it, if anything. Do you know what I feel is weird as well?
I wouldn't be grateful that if that was me. I wouldn't be grateful. I'd be harding. I'd be in harding, and I'd be apologising to that family profusely.
It's kind of like after all this. I'm grateful that they put a clip of the Superchuffer in there. After all this, there it is. I talk about. I mean, it's a funny one. It's a funny little place to start. But talk about statues in memory and stuff. Like Nicola Buddy's going to be remembered. Her story's going to be remembered. Yeah. And I guess in a way, all of you chuffers that are in chat and everyone that's been in the streams, because all your names are going to be above my head when they go back and watch the streams. You're all going to.
Yeah, he wants to go back and watch this.
Be remembered too, and the work we do as a community on YouTube to try and push this forward. Because ultimately, what people are trying to do is find the truth.
Yeah, grateful. Jess, he's grateful he was in a knobhead in a.
Well, they were trying to find Nikki initially, and then trying to find the truth for Nikki, and we can all just do a little bit and try and forward our ideas.
He's on a premiere part 1 tonight, another 2 or 3 to come see. Grifting off, yeah, bland. Instead of just doing it in one big thing, right? This is what I think, one big thing. You know what he'll do? He'll split it up into 3 things. Like he did the video about me, split in 3 things. And put 2 of them behind the members wall. So you have to be members for to see that. When he was slagging me off. Doing exactly the same here. Grift. It's a grift.
And I mean, that's what society is, Like, we're not the police, we're society, but, good police are trying to substantiate legitimate lines of inquiry. And I don't think that unsubstantiated theories and speculation are completely worthless. But obviously, we don't want to wait, we don't want to, I said about weighting it towards TikTok only, we don't want to weight it too hard towards, nonsense. Of course, do we? Like, definitely not. But yeah, it's a different way of saying it. It's like ideas and thoughts continue to be shared online today. They do. And this documentary won't stop that. It will increase it. Like, to some people, it will be all right, this thing, and this thing, you can put them in the bin now because they said that on the documentary. So now what have you got to say? And to some people, it might feel like that, but not to me. I don't feel like threatened by it in any way. I think it's a good documentary, well made, and it tells the story the way that it.
Now, at the beginning of this, weren't it, if I remember rightly, weren't you saying it wouldn't have been the way that he'd, the big media producer he is. It wouldn't have been the way he'd done it. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have done it this way. And now you're saying it's a good piece of media what they've done. Flip flop.
Is told from Paul Anderson.
You either like it or you don't like it, Scott. You can't flip flop. Say at the beginning it was shit, and now say it was a good piece of media.
Point of view. Like this.
When he's saying it's a good piece of media now, because people in the chat are like sad and when you're saying, well, no, you didn't really look that bad. You come on and did this because you wanted damage control to see what people were saying about you.
Felt very strongly to me like, not Nikki's documentary.
Hey, Dom. Hey, sweetheart.
Although she features in it, but what it feels like to be Paul Ansell during the process of what happened, with supporting cast from the parents. That's how it felt to me. So, yeah, or another way to describe that, Carla, is a load of biased bollocks. 7 out of 10. But no, honestly, it's crafted well, it's produced well, and if you're conscious enough to view modern media with a critical eye, you would assume that all documentary is not simply the truth and the facts of the matter. It's a perspective and a story and a side. And I'm glad that we have it. It's more. I want more. You
want more because you want more for grift off.
More. So I get a free TV license. I'm glad I paid the fucking thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so confident about showing you this on the screen, would I? I'd be outside in the van, wanking into the. That's what they do in the van, isn't it? They have an aerial and a porno mag, and then just come and knock your door later when they're busy. They got paid a lot of money. I don't know how much they got paid. I mean, I assume the commission from the BBC will work in that way. You'll get a bunch of money for it, and there will be some costs involved in producing it. And I think when you're producing media, I believe Rogan Productions. I've seen their name before. I need to look into their name a bit more and stuff like that. But I assume they hand in to the BBC a sort of this is how much it will cost. I mean, I've made a documentary, and if you're lucky enough to get commissioned by the BBC, yeah, you get your money, you get your costs, you don't worry about when you turn up to those interviews, you don't worry about a hotel, do you? That's getting paid for.
Flip flop's always been tricky. You usually trip over. I don't like them. Between your, the flip flops, what with the thingy between your toes, them things between my toes aggravate laugh, ain't they? I do.
It's all getting factored in, and you make your money. But you are producing quality media for the national broadcaster, so being paid for quality content is acceptable. Like, I'm not see when I'm saying good quality, I'm like, I don't think anyone would argue this was badly made. And like the shots weren't elegant and modern, and they got all the story in there. Well, not all of it, but they got the story they wanted to tell in there. 50 minutes, sorry, an hour, 59 minutes at a push. It's hard to fit it in. Imagine all the stuff that's been said about Nicola Bulley over the time and trying to squeeze it into an hour. So like they got it all in there. We got to see more of the family.
Yeah, thongs. They call thongs in Australia, aren't they?
Then like all the way along, we haven't had that access in that way to that story. They even included, like I said, I was surprised because I thought they were going to poo-poo social media.
Oh, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Twitter. Gifted membership. Who's got the membership? India. Welcome to TT's. Yeah, Jessica, she's an Andy fan, not a Rev fan, an Andy fan. Andy fan?
To the point where they wouldn't give us a right to reply, but Jizzy got to say some stuff. I mean, she doesn't represent me and I don't like her, but she got to say some stuff, and I mean, to the point where like some people think she's a
He doesn't like Jizzy. He doesn't like Jizzy is a true crime channel that covers true crime that probably have a more, and she's done it for years, probably had a more healthier look at it, should we say, because that's what she does. You're just an idiot on the internet that decided to talk about Nicola Bulley. And like he says, all the all the other ones where there was all, I think it's very homely. I love it in Egypt, I do. So like all the, your Vicky Marie's and your Penny Bunnies and Michelle After Dark and all that, what he clubbed together and called them all fishwives, leaking on Facebook and all that lot. People actually do leak into true crime a lot more. Where he doesn't like true crime, he said. He's not a true crime channel yet. He's wanting to do this all the time. Are you moving in with me, Joe?
fucking mainstream shill, but like, she got to say some stuff. That other lady, and I don't really know how to judge. Should I judge? But the other lady is a TikToker who I don't know, but she got to talk.
Yeah, she is BC. Jizzle is very professional.
And I think, as with these things, I don't think this will be the definitive, but maybe it will be like seen as the definitive Nicola Bulley documentary, insofar as if Paul decides not to talk again, and he doesn't need to in any way, does he? I suppose. Like, maybe this will be the one. Like, in lots of ways, I'm pleased we have it, and I think they did a good job making it. And big up to Bell. Thank you for gifting the membership. Thank you.
I done a murder.
I think we had a lot of fun, and I think we talked seriously. At times we laughed, at times we cried over the Nicola Bulley case, frankly. And I don't.
But you don't cry, Scott. You never have done. You've never once shed a tear for any member of that family. What about when he did the leaking, when the house was up for sale and he did that one? You died in an house like this. That was awful.
I don't think this is the end of it, but credit where it's due. They've done a good job on it. Of course, the ethics behind it, the content, and the message they put across, and what it does to the mainstream audience who will watch it and maybe take on some of those thoughts and feelings as their own, I really am not happy with. But the pictures are nice. Like, if I made a video for you about the Nicola Bulley case and it looked like this and had this sort of level of cohesive narrative, like, beginning, middle, and end, and all that, even though I wouldn't want to say the same.
Skip it a bit now because he's really annoying me.
Like, maybe I'm nearly there, but yeah, I'm just really grateful that obviously I've been aware of your work and stuff like that, and I'm.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I've got like little cameras, and I can maybe make a documentary like this, but maybe not as highbrow as the BBC. But I'd love to just come down and do some work with Brian at some point. But it's the sort of thing where I feel both nervous and a bit intimidated. But also, I feel like once we open up a Pandora's box of conversation,
no way.
Not when I say we're not being paid by the BBC, you and me, are you? But like we're part of the mechanism. Like, they talk about it. As much as people diss social media, the BBC ain't going to get as many views on this as they're going to get more views on this because of social media than they're going to get on fucking EastEnders because no one gives a shit, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the mechanism of social media. We've all been talking about it for the last week and a half or two, whenever it was announced. Like, we are the hype machine that has got the views. We're the people fucking viewing it. Like, our critique of it will serve to drive more views. So that's good for them because that's what they want, is views, I suppose. And the people that made it, yeah, they're going to cause more questions. I think because when I go through it, there's a couple of points. Like, I made one tonight, didn't I? I made one tonight about how he said that, whatever the fuck he said. But there are going to be more red flags that come out of it. But more is good. There will be some more answers in there as well, which is good. But there's a couple of them,
no way, Lucy's in.
Like when the police search operative.
Leaky's there. Leaky's in his chat. Can you see? Oh. Oh my God. No way. Brian! Run, Brian! Run! he's going to have a right good wank in her.
Said that they had checked.
Lex, is this what you was on about when you said it gets better? Is this it? No.
The caravans. I want to know, does check the caravans mean
Yes,
two officers
that's
walked up and down like that? Or did you open the doors of the caravans and look inside? There was certainly no forensic examination of the caravans, were there? But, you know, a search of the property is different from a check. So, stuff like that. Big ups, BHTV. Is that Brian? Shouts out Brian. I love Brian. Shouts out Brian. Shouts out Brian. I would love to. I'll stay, I don't know if Brian's ever heard me saying this, but I'll just quickly say I'd love to do some work with Brian in the future. I am a little bit nervous because Brian is someone that was like on the TV when I was not on the TV, is a superstar and has amazing
Good influence, smoke up Brian's ass. Brian's a superstar. Brian, run, Brian.
talent and has seen through the veil and like has been climbing a mountain, you know, and I think has reached a plateau and like a really good place. So I'd love to do some work with Brian in the future. I've got like little cameras and, you know, I can maybe make a documentary like this, but maybe not as highbrow as the BBC, but I'd love to just come down and do some work with Brian at some point. But it's the sort of thing where I feel both nervous and a bit intimidated, but also I feel like once we open up a Pandora's box of conversation, like I need to be ready for working hard and, you know, like sort of giving it my all. And,
he's telling him yes, mate.
like maybe I'm nearly there, but yeah, I'm just really grateful that obviously I've been aware of your work and stuff like that, you know, and I'm really, really grateful that you've been positive about it, and like, I hope you've been aware that I've been positive about you as well, because some of those bad chuffers out there, you know, some of those bad chuffers, like, yeah. And do you know what, Brian, when I dropped that Nicola Bully K Soul video, and you know, I'm just a chuffer on the internet trying to put things together, looking at...
He's saying he'd work with him. No! This is pure goalless.
Videos and trying to find stuff, and I found those videos, and Brian said that there'd be an increase in negative opinion and like trolling, and I laughed it off and said, well, you know, now we get trolls anyway, but he was right. He was bang right. And when I pulled some of those threads on those jumpers, they led back to some funny places, and now's not the time for it. It's not the time for it at all, but...
Hey, Rob.
I'm sure that there's a lot of things in common with that. So, yeah, and I also imagine that, like, I think it's a funny, weird one, because I guess it's the sort of stuff you just have to talk to, like, I guess you probably don't want to just, like, you know, send emails, and I'd rather just, like, sit down and have a face-to-face, you know, not cameras and not, you know, none of that, like, just where you can just, like...
He wants to sit down and have a face-to-face. I see that. He doesn't want to do emails, right? Like, he wants to go and sit and do a face-to-face with him. He can't get out the fucking house, so how can he do that?
Build a relationship, I suppose, you know. So I'm very grateful, basically. I'm very grateful. And yeah, a lot of respect goes out to Brian. So shouts out, yeah, shouts out. Do we have further questions? I feel like I want to go on carry on talking now because Brian's here, but I was coming towards the end of what I was saying, really. And ultimately, I don't feel like
he didn't want carry on talking for it because his subs were there. Now Brian's turned up. Oh, I want to stay on there because Brian's here. Like.
Strong. Like, I don't feel like this documentary requires a big, shouty, strong, like...
Is it not Brian, that? It is, it's Brian there, isn't it? BHTV, it is. That's the thinger. It is.
Angry response, but a more nuanced look into it, because it is a more nuanced look, and I think we have to be really careful.
Or can somebody else just do that? I don't think you could take somebody else's chat name. Is he being is he being punked, or is that? No, it is. It's definitely Brian, isn't it? We see that.
Careful's the wrong word. Like, we have to be really respectful of the fact that Nikki did die, I think, and like it is a tragedy. So they've been really heavy with that top note on this documentary. They've really, you know, put that in our faces again. And in fairness, like, that is a real, you know, a real sad thing. So yeah, I don't feel like raging.
Dolly's trying to get Brian in Discord. She's trying to get Brian in Discord. Brian, stay away, stay away.
bull today. You know, I don't feel like raging bull, but big up Shay. Dover and Dolly's mum is my point of contact, but yeah, whatever Brian feels most comfortable with. I mean, I don't know, like, to be honest, what's the word? Like, I don't know what's the most secure thing to you know, but things about shutting down social media, right? Yeah, like if it was, I was wondering this today, right, while I was walking my dog, I was like, can I look at this documentary and then walk away and say we need to do shutting down social media? And I was thinking, not strongly, I feel like, but it's like a layer of the sandwich. It's like this sandwich is mainly the sort of Paul Ansel is innocent sandwich, but there's definitely a slice of social media is really. I mean, there's a slice of it. It's a big feature of it is bad. But then they had a Daily Mail woman on as well saying that we're going to be social media.
Look at him, he's like a chat because Brian's in chat. Oh, Brian. What a bell end.
And I think with Jay Slater, it was like a test case for what happens if we decide to go with social media. And when I say social media, they mean TikTok, don't they? They're really angry about TikTok.
No, they're angry about you, Scott, because you're a wanker.
And it's like TikTok this and
Open
TikTok
your
that.
eyes, Brian.
TikTok this and TikTok. It's all TikTok this and TikTok that with you, isn't it? It's TikTok this and TikTok. Put down that TikTok and come and have your dinner. Listen, no more TikTok for the night. But no, it is. They really bang on about TikTok, and I think that is because TikTok is like just like normal people just talking to each other a lot, and like that's harder to control. And certainly, like one of the things we've learned through this whole Nicola Buddy, what I've learned is that, and it's stupid, it's weird, but Peter Folding. Like, he popped his little head out, didn't he? He popped his little head out. Peter Folding. Oh God, I should play my songs if Brian said I should play my Peter Folding songs. Wait, have you heard this one? This is not the time nor the place. But have you heard this one? Wait. This is my Peter Folding songs.
No thanks.
Pharmaceutical industry and the people that make the most money off it are the most evil people. And when we're talking about making the most money, like we think people like P Diddy's parties are bad. Like P Diddy's not making the sort of money that pharmaceutical industry is making, and like to them he's just like a sort of like trinket, like a plaything. But at the top end, like I think the real bad people overlap with like where the major drugs are getting into our system, like because they run the pharmaceutical companies and like drugs. I think there's so much overlap here, So yeah, I just want to get it all off my chest, before they murder me. But yeah, like it's been said recently about the Diddy thing that pharmaceutical companies are involved in some way. I just think like when you follow the money and follow the raw power, if you know what I mean, like some of the things that they do in those industries, like if you're going to be able to breed, and I don't even want to get into it really, but the animal testing stuff, like if you're going to be able to sort of oversee that and do it, then you've got to be pretty fucked in the head.
I'm ignoring my chat. I'm reading his chat. So I want to see what Brian's saying. He's like a kid at I'm like a kid at Christmas because Brian's in his chat.
So I don't know who does what, but like yeah, I don't know who does what. Certainly like you didn't wait.
You want to mystery?
We're getting trolled. Lego Lego's not a troll, is they? Oh, they might be. I don't know who's a troll and who's not these days. I don't care. I don't feel bad. If people want to say bad things or mean things to me, that's fine. It's fine. Ian Puddick's wife stood by him outside the court after that 10-year affair, so it's fine. I don't know. Anyway, why have I turned the show into this now? But yeah, like, oh, that was someone being mean to me. That's okay then. Well, they called me poo. They can stay. I mean, it's only Eddie, so one of his friends, isn't it? I don't really mind. But yeah, like overall, it's big. But yeah, and also I should mention Eamon Holmes is involved. Like, Eamon Holmes is the head of the Manchester media mafia. I'm sort of joking, but I'm kind of not joking. Like, he used to go back and forth to Ireland all the way through his TV career. Him and Philip Schofield were having a bit of an egg off.
He's not even talking about his stream now, Brian. He's talking about his medical. He's done a can't cook, won't cook, and he's made a curry. Brian, I love you, Brian.
Philip Schofield seems to have been threatening him because Eamon
What bugging me, Scott, with Brian is, he's seen Brian on the internet, right? Brian has all these different theories, and obviously he's been through shit in his life. I know that because I don't keep up with everything that goes on, but you do know bits and pieces, don't you? The type of music Brian did back in the day is not his type of music, and because Brian's a YouTuber on the internet, he wants to be up Brian's ass. That's all it is, Brian. Your type of music you did back in the day when he says, "Oh, you're a big pop star, superstar," was my generation of like, yeah, you'd swoon over, oh, pop stars and that lot, yeah. He can't stand that fucking music. He can't. So he's an hypocrite. He just wants to blow smoke up your ass, to get on your channel, to get friends with you, to push his way into somebody else's thing, yeah, because obviously Brian's doing good on his channel, and he's in there trying to push his way in. Don't take him on, Brian. Stay away from him, love.
Holmes got really eggy the other day, didn't he, on the telly and said, "Oh, Philip Schofield's bad." And what does Philip Schofield know? And why did Eamon Holmes get the boot so quick? Oh, because he talked about 5G, but yeah, they didn't like him anyway, did they? They wanted him to go. And Eamon Holmes talked about how famous people, Manchester scene, everyone from Wayne Rooney to the Spice Girls, big parties, and you know what parties all,
I'm speeding him up, Dawn. He's talking fast. Yeah, he's not been talking fast. Or is it your head going? No, I've speeded him up because I can't possibly listen to much more of him. So I've had
big parties and where we're going with that, don't we? So yeah, big up payment homes. You won. I didn't realise it was a competition. I thought if you cooked the learning to cooking.
Yeah, he wants subs and a name. That's all. You put me on it. Money is politics and it's politics and not. I'll go along with Brian's. No. Suzanne. Suzanne's got to go because she's tired. She's got to go because she's tired and gagged her fella to the bed ages ago and told him she'd be 5 minutes. Oh, I love it, Suzanne. Oh, God. Enjoy yourself, Suzanne, anyway. I love that. She's been here ages. Told him she'd be 5 minutes. Yeah, see, Louise, I don't know what you're talking about, what you're replying to there, but I'm just going to catch on to people do admit when they're wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Scott won't. He won't admit anything when he's wrong. He'll twist it to make himself look good and make himself look right. I don't know what like I said, I don't know what you was replying to there, but I think genuine people will say, "Shit, I got it wrong." And apologise if they think there's apology needed. But Scott won't. Scott won't do it.
Was the win along the way. Big ups. And now you've got the lovely kitchen and you can cook at your leisure. I'm so pleased that they've fucking sorted that out. Like the stress that they were putting you under. It's not fair. Like, it's not right on people, is it? And like, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Like, it does make you wonder how many people have to suffer. Let's not get into the big picture stuff. Yeah, who was on it with you? Who did you have to beat? Who were you competing against? And were they a good cook? The documentary was a precursor to signing everyone except mainstream media. Maybe so. I do see what that perspective is, and it being said, I understand the perspective on it. The thing is, right, the internet exists because of freedom and free speech and stuff, and that's what it's for, and that's what it does. So if they shut everything down.
Yeah, but there's freedom and free speech, Scott, and there's just being vile and nasty against a family who's lost their daughter. So I'm not having free speech like this, like I'm saying. It's free speech when I think about you. You're an arse. There's this thing though, with free speech. But your free speech is now vile, nasty. And it's not detracting what you do. It's far from detracting.
We'll just go somewhere else, won't we, in a way? Like, surely they can't completely demolish it. I think maybe for the mainstream entertainment platforms, like, we're already quite restricted on YouTube, aren't we? Like, it depends what you want to do, but like, there are reasonable restrictions, and then there are what seem like unreasonable restrictions that they become norms, and you stop just saying certain words and you just get on with it. But if you want to go somewhere and talk about it, like,
Don't want to do what? Yeah, I said email me, Joe. I'm not scared of horses or hard horses. I used to have two. I've rode horses since I was little.
Free and frank. You shouldn't be made to go in a room with all fucking pedos and nonsense on the dark web. That shouldn't be the case. But like when the internet first came about, they did try and do restrictions and stuff, and people said bollocks. We're going to start anonymous movements and websites where people can talk freely. So it's like one of those where you try and create. I mean, they probably will try, but like they probably have a better job of manipulating it so that people feel that they're talking with their peers when actually they're talking with fake accounts, because that's probably easy as well. Like, artificial intelligence will fuck us over. You won't know who you're talking to. Like a lot of.
I said, email me. See, because I needed. Who's that now? On his tits. Is that Suzanne's fella? Come back as Andy's tits. Hello, bitches. Oh my God. I nearly choked. Oh God. Oh my God. I like getting my breath. Christ's sake. You need a picture. You need a picture of my tits there in that in your little instead of just a blue hair. Yeah, you're saying obviously I need an email address for to send a link to you know for do you as a somebody chatting on you. You know what I mean? Somebody get you on as a guest. It's a guest, isn't it? If you email me, I can send when you want for come on. I can email you a link then. What have you missed, Bruce? Andy's tits. There's somebody's just popped in with a name called Andy's tits.
Psychology involved in it, you know, a lot of sales psychology and marketing
People take piss out to me, and I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
psychology. If you can get someone to Terry, was Terry all right? Was he the one that was doing the lying? Can't remember. I know you, and I know Tony.
There's somebody in his chat saying, I think free speech exists, but it's unreasonable to accuse people without evidence.
Am I getting the names right? But the other two weren't as good as you, so they didn't count as big.
If you just, Bruce, if you just scroll back a bit in chat, you'll see name.
But yeah, you see, I understand this whole argument towards it. You know, I think, in fairness, if you are the government or the powers that be, you're looking at social media and you're saying, how do we control this? How do we affect it? How do we? But they're probably a bit of a step ahead. So I wonder if draconian laws to just silence us is the way to go. First of all, they've got to remove your peaceful right to protest. First of all, they've got to create anti-heroes in the protest movement that you would hate, so that we could have them removed forcibly, and then create laws so that we could. And like this is the story of Nicola Bulley, is that Peter Folding has been doing that for years. You know, Peter Folding took animal rights activists and turned them into criminals. Not him directly, but his peers and his era. They had a problem with the social. That's why I did all that Nicola Bulley case solving, isn't it? Is that like society went out as a group and said, "Hey, I don't want this. I'm not up for this. I'm not having it."
Brian's still on about going on. Can't cook, won't cook, and still going on about his curry, bless him. Scott's not interested that he's going on can't cook, won't cook.
Oh, this is a problem because you're going to have it. We're driving these trucks full of animals through, and you're going to eat them for dinner. So you better fucking have it. You better go back home and stop causing a fuss. And so the more the police turned up and kicked heads in, the more everyone like, oh, that was the miners' strike. You know, oh, everyone's cross. So you can't just go and drag all the old ladies off the street and kick their heads in. You need to get into their heads. And this is why I think true crime's so important to them at the moment as well. People like Mark Williams Thomas and whomever that seem to have the ear of the working class matriarch. You know, if you're the mother of the family, like you're not interested in listening to like right wing bollocks on GB News, which we shouldn't be, but you're more interested in like Coronation Street and true crime, apparently. And so by getting people interested in true crime on social media, now they're on social media and they're in a space, and like now you start feeding them with some more right wing or populist ideas, and like that's how you get into their heads, I reckon. It's the keys to the kingdom, because those matriarchs, the women that run the families, when you get funny ideas in their heads, they can pass them on to everyone else. People used to listen to their dads, didn't they? They were the authority. You know, dad'd buy the car, so make sure the man likes it, put a lady on it. But nowadays, like the ladies choose what car you get, so make sure the lady likes it. And
I've zoned out now. I've zoned out now. Basically, and his tits say you're getting something off your chest. Got chesticles. I've actually just, I was watching that and I've just zoned out. So whatever he said there, I've not a clue. But there was no, I just know there was no mention of Brian's career. The man's in his chat now and he's not chatting to him. He's saying he was staying on a bit longer because Brian wants to talk career, and he's just waffling on.
as well, but I also don't want to entertain the idea that there's some sort of clandestine Masons group trying to take away our rights through some conspiracy, if that's not like, you know, laid out as clear. I find it all to be very grey area, and I'm not really sure.
And do you not believe in Masons or something? That was another accusation people were saying. It was something. And he doesn't think there is. Scott said something about he doesn't think there was Masons. You still can't get over the office F1 and his tits on a Twitter account. I can't get over them. Oh. Yeah, he ignores it. He ignores people in his chat, Louise, he does.
Sure about stuff, but I know when there are bad people, and I know, like, one of the things I'm pretty sure about is when I see someone's telling lies or being a bad chuffer, really, or when they're not, and when they're being genuine. So yeah, more genuine voices and fewer chuffers, isn't it? That'd be good. Halloween coming up, so.
Did Brian
Get yourself a pumpkin.
Did Brian just leave?
What song do you want? Have I got a really inappropriate song to finish on, maybe? I'll just put one of the Chuffer songs on because I don't want to finish on something really, really inappropriate.
No, because that's got really inappropriate songs. That's all you've got. Inappropriate songs. And I don't think Brian Harvey should go anywhere near you. I don't. Doing this so Brian listens to hear his shit tune. Brian doesn't want to listen to your shit music, Scott. Yeah. Are you off bed, Peter? I'm going myself now, love. I'm going. I can't possibly listen any. Well, he's finished now. He's finishing with his chuffer song. So I think some of my chat's missing there. I don't know. The chat's coming up quicker on here than what it is on there. Yeah. Right, guys. I'm going. Go. Thanks for coming. And we got through. We got painstakingly through that, didn't we? We'll have some. We're definitely next time. We're definitely. You've not been watching him, have you, Trish? No. Definitely next time. We will. I'll do something fun. Because he's just not. He's just not fun, is he? He's a fun. He's a fucking fun sponge. It's just not fun. Oh, I've got some of his old stuff though. What's funny? What we can leak at. Oh, thanks, Louise. Thanks, love. Oh, thanks for coming, you lot. I enjoy it. Wait, you quite fancy him, really. I thought when I first started watching him, I thought he was a bit of alright, a bit young for me, but I thought, oh, he's a bit of alright, yeah. But I think when you actually see his true colours, it's like, it's like having that drunken one night stand, and you wake up morning after and think, oh my God, really? Did I? Thanks, Georgia. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Trish. Thanks, Toffer. That's it. Thanks, Jess, Slinky Blind, Keela, and RP, and Peter, the mods. Thank you very much. Yeah, Rach, you tell them, Rach, hit the like, hit the like. Thanks, Fletch. Thanks, BC. Yeah, I know people. I know. I've always said that, Louise. Some people do generally like going watching his streams. Yeah, he has done some quite good stuff, and I will give him that. But he's just, when it comes to this Nicola Bully stuff now, he's just a fucking ass. He's doing exactly what Alan did to the Watts, did to the Rezex. And he ripped Alan for that, and he's doing exactly the same. He just comes out with all these. He just comes out with all these big words. Right, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Blanche just put a link in for something. I don't know what it is, but go and check it out. It could be anything. Or is it Rachel's new video? Rachel's new video just dropped. Go and give it a watch. Sophie thinks Louise needs an intervention. No, but we said, don't we? Each to their own, and everybody's welcome. Trisha is a witch. I don't think that's a nice thing, sir. I can't get that on here. Can somebody just get rid of that message, right, Trish, please? Because we don't do that. We don't do that, Louise. Unless you're calling her an ass witch, I don't know. But like I said, everybody's welcome to an opinion, but we don't hate on each other. Colette's a witch. You can call Colette a witch. She doesn't mind. Not you. What's not you? Good night, everyone except Trisha. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know why it's just turned bad then. I don't know what someone's doing something to your pic. Has somebody come in? Ah, right, I get you. I get you now, Louise. Has somebody just cloned you? I was going to say because you've been nice all night, and I've got you, sweet. I was going to say because you've been that dead nice all night, and even I've just wondered why it went a little bit thingy, and we get you now, sweet. We know it's not you. Yeah, she's been Louise has been cloned. She's not. There's 2 accounts there. Can we just can we grab that other account, guys? One at mods, can you grab that other account, please? We don't want. Sorry about that, Louise, love, but obviously because it was same picture and everything, but because it did take me back. I thought Louise comes in and she's dead nice to everyone and everything, and then I had a little pop at Trish, and I actually thought that doesn't seem right, but because it's the name of the exact same picture. Yeah. Oh, no, thank you for understanding, love, because it could have gone a little bit wrong, that, couldn't it? So anyway, guys, that's not Louise that comes in chat. Somebody's taking the piss with Louise's account. We'll have a look at that anyway, love, we will. We'll check it out. Yeah. So once you can, if it's been thingied that, you can, if it's been deleted, you can just click back on it. It's there, that one. Just give me 1 minute. It's just been no, it's in there, guys, if you want well, have you thanks, Jess. Oh, you're already on it. All Lottie's already on it. Yeah. Thanks, subs. Thanks. See, if you want proof that it's not Louise, that account has just been opened. So sorry about that, Louise. Obviously, we know it's not you, sweet. Now. Yeah, the second Louise. Like I said, I'll show it. Like I said, I'm not adding nothing. There it is. On it. They've just done it now. Yeah. Thanks, mods. Right. So we're going on a happy ending now, anyway. Because it's not Louise. It's just somebody big, and there's somebody just randomly come in, saw the name Louise, took a screenshot of a picture, and done that. But you're right, Toffee, bit sad, really, into doing that. Yeah, all right, guys, I'm going. Otherwise, I'm going to do a Trisha and even another 10 minutes. Yeah, the message. Yeah, Louise, the message went wrong. Now looking at your picture is clear as a bell. That other picture wasn't it with fuzzy. The other picture was a fuzzy picture. So obviously they took a screenshot of your picture and then yeah. Bless you, honey. Bless you. We'll not have none of that. Cloning people in here. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Bye, guys.